I'm sorry, guys. I am somewhere else. I did not know. I am so sorry. Hello, 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 y'all in the house. HQ is in the house now. I was doing something. I was daydreaming. Sure was. I didn't even know what the hell I was doing. But I was here and I was thinking about, lately I've been posting videos, video after video, people talking about why marriage is not important. You know, why they don't want to get married. People don't want to get married. What the hell? So I thought I would list, I would give some good reasons for being married, and just list them real quick. Family stability is a good reason to be married. Family marriages can create stable homes for children, stable homes for two adults that may not feel stable on their own, and they can create role models for those kids. Economic strength. Married couples often make decent enough money where they will be able to save, put money away. I mean, that's one of the things that I hate is that I don't have a person or a companion that we could build together, monies where we would go on vacation and do things and that kind of thing. I'm doing it all on my own, right? So dual incomes is a good reason to be married because financially it's hard out here. It's hard out here to be single. Generational wealth can be put through marriage, and you can build something together if you're willing to stay with each other, right? And then there's emotional support. Uh, Marriage means there's a companion, there's a person that you speak to, you talk to, you converse with every day. Hopefully, you do that. And it's a support system that helps people through lifelong struggles. It's something to be said if you can make a marriage last for a long while, even if it's 10 years, even if it's 20 years. You're turning corners with people, and you're mentally better able or equipped when you have another person that you can bounce problems and issues off of each other. Um, it's a community effort. Historically, marriages marriages are maybe community based, maybe where people understand that you're a dynamic, you and another person, and people will see that and then maybe mirror that, maybe decide that they want to be in marriages because they see a strong healthy marriage that is working. You never know. you know you never know why there's a reason to get married. People have different reasons to get married. Health benefits. People want to get married. They don't have insurance. They want to get married with each other and then help each other out that way. And, it could just be any kind of thing. Any kind of thing. But these days, people are having an issue with getting married. I believe in marriage. I believe in marriage. I believe if you want to get married, get married. If you don't want to get married, don't get married. Okay? Because people can live together and not be married, because we've had that argument from some men saying that they don't need to be married. They don't need a legal piece of paper for it to be a marriage. Okay, so if it don't need a legal piece of paper, then nobody should be fighting for it. And people have been making arguments for polygamy. Oh, y'all sharing men anyway, so why should I get married? Hey, these are arguments that the men have been making. Well, we don't want to be faithful. We want to do what we want to do sexually. So we want to be faithful to you. So, okay, these are 3, 4 reasons why women say they don't need to be married these days. This is why they're going their own way. You guys made compelling arguments. You made very compelling arguments, and the women are starting to listen, unfortunately. You know, You don't have any dick discipline. You don't want to be married. You don't want to X, Y, and Z. Hey, these are arguments that have been going on from all around these spaces. So now women are listening, of course, listening and saying, okay, well then maybe it's not that important. Maybe it's not that important to us. Okay. And a lot of people don't feel it's all that important because they want to stay independent. There's nothing wrong with you being independent. There's nothing wrong with you being self-sufficient. Okay? There's no specific reason or need to get married. If you're not having children and you want to be an autonomous human being, there's no point in getting married. You can earn your own money, own property. Men can own their own money, own property, do all of these things, see as many women as they want. Don't be faithful to none. As long as you know how to cook and clean and do your own thing, you don't need a woman, right? You don't need a woman to check in with. But if you do decide that you want a woman and you want to check in with her, then you should at least attempt to be faithful, attempt to care about her. Okay. And here's the big kicker. Families or the look of families is very different these days. Okay. A lot of people are not with their regular biological family. There's different views on marriage. Blended families. You choose families. Families are your friends instead of being, actually having a valid biological relationship with someone. It depends on how you define it. As long as you find somebody to love you and to care about you. That's the way I look at it. Also, high divorce rates is a reason why people stay single. Nobody wants to get married and then get divorced 2 years later. Everybody is seeing these divorce rates. Everybody is seeing the divorce rates, right? And people are skeptical. Why the hell should we get married? People getting divorced. Half of y'all in divorce anyway. You think my marriage is gonna be so good that it won't end divorce? That's what a lot of people say. And then why bother with the paperwork? And men say marriage is restrictive. They can't sleep with who they want to sleep with. They can't do what they want to do. They can't run the streets how they want to run the streets. They don't want to share their money. They don't want to share their money. They don't want to give their money to a female. You got freedom and flexibility. You don't even have to be married. You don't even have to have a permanent woman. Okay? You don't even have to do that. And a lot of people don't believe in love and they don't believe in doing any of those things. And I've only heard black men talk about not having legal paperwork. No people. I don't want to be on the white man's paperwork. As Dr. Umar say, I don't want to be on the white man's paperwork. Now more than ever, you have the freedom to do whatever and see whatever you want to see. Just like women have the freedom to do and see whatever they want to see. Okay? You can prioritize that peace that you all say you want over the obligation of having a wife. And it's stressful enough. Right? It's stressful enough. So I can see the argument to have marriages and not to have marriages. Okay? I can see the argument. Okay? But people have to decide for themselves. Okay? Maybe marriage is not for you. Maybe some people you have to decide whether that's an important factor in your life. Okay, I found it important, but then again, you have to understand where I came from, what generation I came from. The generation I came from prioritized marriage. They prioritized wanting to be married and stay married. My parents stayed married. My brother stayed married until he died. I stayed married until my husband died. My parents stayed married until they died, right? And my aunts stayed married. All of them stayed married till their husbands, wives, or whatever died. So it was a priority in my family. But if it's not a priority in your family, maybe that's not what you feel is, an important aspect. And it doesn't have to be. Marriage doesn't have to be an important aspect in your life. Okay? And we're not on here to guilt anybody into anything or to say anything one way or the other. I'm saying find out what your priorities are. Find out what you find important. Find out what you want to do with your life. Find out if you are one of those people that can make a marriage work. Some people can't make a marriage work. It just is what it is. Some people can't. And it's good to find out that you cannot do that early on before you get into a relationship with someone. I know I can't be faithful. Some men say that. I know I can't be faithful. So why would you drag a woman into the middle of a marriage if you know you can't keep your dick out of somebody else's hands? Know that you can't do that and act accordingly. Don't be an asshole. Because being an asshole means marrying a woman knowing you can't be faithful, knowing you're not going to be loyal. That's loyalty to a lot of women. He can't be loyal to me, so I'm not going to be submissive. Oh, it's just crazy out here. It's crazy. All I'm saying is, please know yourself before you decide you're going to get married to somebody. Not every person is meant to get married. Not every person is meant to be single. X, Y, and Z. So, today is our letters to marriage, right? Our letters to marriage. And we have some interesting letters today, right? Some husbands, some wives. So our first letter is called historical cheating. Historical cheating. So the wife has been cheating. No, you said no. Wait a minute. Heathen. Is this for men or women? What's for men or women? What do you mean? No, I just did a list of who, what, when, where, and why. What was important in marriage, and then I listed maybe marriage may not be that important to everyone. It's just different. I mean, if you value marriage, then you should know what is valuable in marriage. Okay. And traditionally, cheating is not valuable, and you're not serious. You're not serious in a marriage if you cannot even attempt to be a nice person, or a faithful person, or a trustworthy person, or a loyal person. You're just not serious about marriage. So anyway, this is called historical cheating. What should I do? I don't know what to do right here. I was snooping, and you know what happens when you snoop in people's stuff. I was snooping in my wife's phone because I had a funny feeling something was going on from a couple years ago. So he's talking in the present, but whatever he's thinking happened 2 or 3 years ago. Okay? She was acting kind of crazy, my wife, staying up late downstairs all night, that type of thing. Okay, the phone one time. I won't do that phone thing ever. So from time to time, I check on her phone to see if I can find anything, see if there was anything going on, and I never could find anything that was going on. But we were both clearly unhappy at that time. So anyway, the other day, I was going through her phone and I found some photos of her topless, naked, in her deleted file. And a couple of her photos of her in a bikini. She never sent me any nudes in the 15 years we've been together. So I thought it was kind of odd. The images were from 2022. Oof. So I did a little further digging and I found a hidden WhatsApp app. And the worst I could have thought happened. So, wow, okay. So I found these messages from an old school friend of my wife's. He was the reason that she was staying up all late downstairs all night. She was texting him around a year, for about a year, until it fizzled out. But they were telling each other that they had feelings for each other, talked about what they liked sexually. And of course he sent a picture of himself, but I could not find a picture of him. They both talked about how unhappy they were with their spouses. and they talked about leaving their spouses. I'm devastated, as she's always told me how against cheating she was. And she said she would never do that. And I told her I would never do that. Otherwise, it would be the end of us. I feel as if, wait a minute, I feel like if we were still in that situation, I would confront her. But we are not in that situation. It happened in 2022. Now it's 2025. But here's where things got complicated. After many, many miscarriages, she got pregnant. This is when the relationship with this other guy online fizzled out. I've no reason to believe that they met up either, and the messages between them actually say it's a shame that they never met up in person. Anyway, we did finally have a daughter who has made us both very, very happy. And we are happy in our marriage now. Everything seems entirely normal. I don't want to rock the boat now and confront her about this emotional affair she had 3 years ago. But my stomach is in knots. And it's been 2 days since I found all the evidence. I have all the Snapchats and the logs and the images on my phone. I know the correct thing to do is to confront her. And that's usually what I would do. But here we are in a different place from 2022, since she had the emotional affair in 2022. We had this amazing child. We're very happy. One thing I thought of doing was to delete everything, every trace of him from her phone and social media. Okay? Just to see what, if anything, happens. What should I do? Oof. What should I do? So here's the thing. You cannot ignore this. And he don't want to rock the boat. Okay? I'm not telling a person to blow up their marriage, but how are you going to ignore it? How would you ignore it? Would you be one of the ones who ignored it, or would you be one of the ones confront? But she's not there in that space where she was emotionally cheating anymore. She's not there anymore. She could recommitted to her marriage, I'm assuming. But here's the thing. She has a giant secret that she hasn't told you. And you know the giant secret. But don't want her to know that you know. So now I say the marriage is dishonest. The marriage is definitely in jeopardy. You have a dishonest marriage, or at least one where you two aren't able to communicate honestly. If you had a marriage in which you all spoke and were completely upfront and honest with each other about most things in your marriage, then this would not have been a question for you as to whether you were going to talk to your wife about it. People fuck up and make mistakes all the time, but they don't sweep it under the rug because it doesn't help your marriage in the long run. But then it depends on what you think. Okay? I think communication, I get it. You don't want to blow the marriage up. I get all of that. But if she is a decent enough person, she'll come clean with everything. All pictures, all messages, all Snapchat, all activity that she did emotionally. So are you sure that she never physically cheated? Okay. And how does she feel now? Did she stay with you just because she got pregnant? Because you said she got pregnant and it fizzled out. So is that why she stayed with you? Is because according to you, they both of them said they were going to leave their spouse. So why didn't she leave? She didn't leave because she got pregnant. So that basically means now you need to address the fact that she doesn't have the feelings that she's supposed to have towards you. Or did she come to the realization that she never really had feelings for the other guy and she recommitted herself to you? What does she do? What does he do? The first thing you have to do is make sure that you have all the evidence. You have all of the letters, you have all of and then she has to come clean. She has to be upfront and honest about the whole thing. Were you emotionally cheating with this person? Did you say X, Y, and Z? The first question you need to ask her is, have you ever cheated on me, emotionally or physically? If a person is asking you that question, then they obviously know that you have cheated in some way, some regard. They already know that you've done it. They just want you to be contrite when you do talk to them about this. Most people, when they ask a person, have they been cheating, they already have an idea. Okay? They already have an idea of what you've done. Okay? And here's the thing. If you don't bring it up to her, the fact that you won't even bring this up to her, even now, 2 days later, tells me there's more issues going on in that marriage than just an emotional affair of things that have been left unsaid. Like, why are you avoiding conflict? Because that's not something you're supposed to do in marriage. You're definitely not supposed to avoid conflict. Okay? Because these things only fester even more. Temporary peace only brings very, very temporary relief. Okay? That's what that does. Okay? He's pretty solid with they have not met up. Okay? He's pretty solid without. He can't move ahead without confrontation. You cannot move ahead in this marriage without confrontation. It is what it is. You can forgive her, but it has to be after the confrontation. It cannot be before the confrontation. What if she hits a low spot again, a low point in the marriage again, and she decides to have another emotional affair? What if she's not sorry? Many things that need to be confronted. But the one thing you don't do is pretend like it did. Put your head in the sand and pretend like it never happened. Okay. And then another thing I would say to him is, you're pretty damn sure that she didn't actually physically see this guy. Please hit the like button coming in, guys. We need the engagement. And the subscribe button, when you click the subscribe button, underneath that, when you click it again, if you click it again, it'll say all for notifications. You have to click that all button. When you go to the beginning, or when you go to any video, it says subscribe there. You have to click that subscribe again and then click all if you want to get notifications about videos and all kinds of things, if you want to get the notifications. And I noticed that a lot of people got those notifications. I don't know how it hooks up to the video. I got to ask Fatty, because I have a lot of people that I subscribe, but then a lot of y'all don't show up for the videos. So I'm saying, because they say, well, I didn't get notified. So you got to click the subscribe button again and then click all under that, and then you'll get all the notifications. So anyway, he's so sure that there's no physical contact between him and that woman. I wouldn't be so sure. It was a whole year. some of the communication could not, maybe some of the communication could be jarbled up, or she might have deleted some, didn't delete this, that, and the third. You can't believe her until you talk to her. You can't believe your wife until you talk to her. And then you have to decide, before you even confront her, you have to decide whether you can forgive her or not. After you hear, if you hear everything and she's honest and she's contrite in the messages and what she says are consistent and everything goes along X, Y, and Z, you have to decide whether you can forgive your wife or not. Please hit the like button, coming in and out, in and out. Please hit the like button. It's like ringing the doorbell. When you ring the doorbell, please hit the like button. Thank you. So he has to decide whether they saw each other or they didn't see each other. And Black America says there's a blood test that might need to be done on the child. We never know. You never know until you hear from the wife. But for now, treat it as the danger to your marriage as you would think it would be a danger. It's just like she had in a physical affair, except she didn't have a physical affair, and anything is forgivable if it hasn't went too far. Okay? It hasn't went too far. You haven't violated your whole marriage. Okay? Some people violate their whole marriage. Okay? And then expect their marriage to be okay. Letter number 2. My husband's affair. Okay, let me see. My hand is shaking as I write this. My husband and I have been married for 3 years, together for 6. We currently live in different cities. Red flag number 1. Living in different cities. Oof. We currently live in different cities because of our careers. He just called me to confess that he was having an affair. He has been sleeping with a coworker for a year and she is pregnant. Oof. He wants to be a father to this child and will not cut off contact with this child. He says he loves her and wants to raise the baby. He also said he loves me and wants to work on our marriage. I'm conflicted. I'm angry. I'm conflicted. I'm angry at him, but I also love him and want to save this marriage. He had been resenting me ever since I changed my mind about starting a family with him. Oof. I don't know what to do and where to go and what to say. Can my marriage be saved? No, it cannot be saved. No, it cannot be saved. He is already gone and he chose her. If the marriage was able to be saved, he never would have looked at if he had feelings for you, he never would have looked at another woman or got a woman pregnant. See, a lot of men go out and have an affair. They don't know how to just have an affair. They don't know how to just go and then do what they need to do sexually or whatever and then come home. They don't know how to do that. Because most men don't want to wear a condom. That means a man is out there cheating, who is your husband, without protection. Which means he doesn't care about you enough to have a condom on. He doesn't care enough about you to wear a condom with another woman, even though he made you his wife. Yes, a lot of men. A lot of men. You always hear it on these panels. Always on these panels. No, it feels better not to have a condom. It feels better. It just does. And we've heard story after story after story of married men getting other women pregnant, people getting people pregnant. Apparently, if we got this rate of people having babies, which tells me nobody's wearing a condom. Okay? It should have been a conversation. Should have been a conversation between you and your wife before you stepped out on your wife. This is not her fault. This is your fault. We're not going to take control. We're not going to take accountability for you not being able to keep your dick out of female's hand. We're not taking that accountability. What we will take is the accountability of the person who wrote the letter. The person who wrote the letter, you have to take accountability for the fact that you knew that you were going to be living in a different area code as your husband, and two, you knew your husband was having a biological need to have a child. Okay? You knew this. So in that regard, I would say you understood, you didn't understand the assignment. Your husband cheated because he's a cheater. We're not going to fault you for that. But what we are going to fault you for is knowing you got into a marriage and your husband probably wanted children, and you decided to tell him, no, I didn't want to have children. Okay? Not your fault that he cheated. It's your fault knowing that you didn't want kids, but he did. And then you should have been upfront with it and said, I don't want to have kids until I'm 40. Or I don't want to have kids until I'm 30, or whatever the case may be. Okay? I don't understand. The marriage is dead, and she decided she didn't want to have kids. But they plan kids in the future. Let me see. So if you all decided or planned to have children, and then you decided that you didn't want children, that's when you should have decided that you wanted a divorce. Because you kept him in limbo knowing that he wanted children and you didn't want children. So if you knew you didn't want children, you should never have stayed married to that man. We ain't absolving him. We're talking about your accountability as to why your marriage fell apart. Okay? It could be that. Sometimes men do that. Sometimes men go out and his biological clock was ticking. Okay? Walk away right now. Walk away. You love him, but he don't love you. That's the problem. And you're never going, you may be one of those women that can ignore men cheating. We can't forget about that. You could be one of those women that ignore men who cheat. You could be one of those people. If you're one of those people, I know one of those people. One of those people are in my life. Not for me, but I know a female who apparently she's ignoring the cheating. Even after being told that I don't want you. Okay? Of course she should leave him. Of course she should leave her husband. Because he's not her husband. Because he's not her husband. He's somebody else's husband. And he's about to be somebody else's dad. And he's going to be somebody else's dad while he's married to you. He's going to be the dad to another woman's child married to you. I don't know how more fucked up that would be. Okay? I don't know why you would think that I'm just yapping. Okay? Men have biological clocks. Men have biological imperatives too. They have biological imperatives to have children too. I just call it a biological clock. Okay? Men want to have children too. Okay? Procreate. They want to do it too. Men are not so in tune with their bodies that they would know that, but a lot of men want to have children. You want to spread every man want to spread his seed all over the land. Every time you want to stick your dick into somebody, you want to stick your dick in it. That's a biological imperative. That's what that is. Okay, until you die. So that's all I'm saying. Okay. But here's the thing. He already went out and he already got, going out and cheating is another thing. One thing. Cheating is one thing. Getting somebody pregnant while you're cheating, that's a whole nother level. Okay. It's a whole nother level. And she doesn't have children. So you can go on to meet another man who doesn't have children, another man that maybe you can hope that doesn't cheat. You can go on to any of those things. You don't. That's the one thing you don't have to put up with. You don't have to put up with it. Why can't she accept him? She did want to have children. She just didn't want to have children today. She wanted to have children later on. If she switched up, that's what I'm saying. If she switched up and said, "Hey, we're gonna have a baby in 2025," and then all of a sudden he says, "When are we gonna have a baby?" and you say, "No, I don't think I want to have one until 2030." She switched up, and then this is partially her fault. Not her fault that he cheated. It's her fault that she should have left him. She should have left him then. Okay, she should have left him then. Because you're holding him up from doing what he wants to do. He wanted to have children. You didn't want to have children. So therefore you should have left. Okay? You don't get to hold a person hostage. I want to have a baby, but you don't want to have a baby. You don't want to have a baby for 5 years, for 10 years. I want to have a baby today. Well, I don't want to have a baby today. What do you want a person to say? That tells me you don't want to have children right now. So you go find a partner that wants to have children, which is probably what he did. So therefore you have to be accountable for the fact that you didn't want to have children at that time. And he did. Why can't she accept him and their baby? Oh, it doesn't work that way, Ty. It doesn't work that way. Hey, husband. Hey, husband. I don't you. I want to have a baby right now. Hey, dear wife, I don't want to have a kid. Hey, husband, I'm pregnant by somebody else. Will you accept my baby? Are you fucking nuts? Are you fucking nuts? That's not how that works. Enough said on that. Why can't she take his baby? That's nuts. No. Stop saying we're different. We're not different. We're not different in that way. Nobody's different in that way. Yes. Yeah, They just don't tell a man. That's right. That happens all the time. They just don't tell a man. But this man just happened to tell her. You'll never. It's the same with us. We are not different in that way. You don't get to come. You don't get to come home and say, "Oh, I got Sally Sue pregnant. You got to accept my baby." No, it don't work that way. Yeah, that's why that was the most shocking part in the movie, because older women back in the day accepted that because they didn't have other options. The women these days, if you try that shit, they out of there. You try that shit and they out of there. Women don't accept that. Stop thinking in terms of 50s and 60s. Women are not doing that these days. Okay? I'm trying to explain to the men, Chelsea Lynn. I'm trying to explain to men. They keep saying, "Oh, we men and women are different about if we come home with a baby, us men come home with a baby, we want you guys to take care of the baby, but if you come home with a baby by another man, they gonna have a fit. They try to unalive everybody." No, that's not a double standard that exists. That we right on track. Women ain't accepting that these days, and neither are men. Yes, yes, and men are doing the same thing. It's the same thing. Men are doing the same thing, Ty Pro. So I'm saying the betrayal is the same, man or woman. And there's men there's simps who go home and cooks who go home every day, every day. And just because we do it don't mean we like it or we tolerate it. That means nothing. This is why y'all wonder why women walk out the door. Y'all wonder why. No. No. It's the same for women. Stop telling us how women feel. Every woman in the chat done said that's not how that works. Stop telling us how we feel. That's not how that works. Men and women are no different in that regard. No different in that regard. There's men who stay because when a wife cheats, just like there's women who stay when a man cheats. Same thing. Same thing. Circumstances are same. The only thing is I'm bringing a baby in the house. The only difference is you have a baby on the other side of town. That's the only difference. The feelings are the same. Okay. But we never know. We never know how this scenario plays out. She takes accountability for her side. Her side of telling him she wanted a baby, but then telling him she didn't want a baby. And then he moves out of town. He lives on another side of town, or he lives in another. Yeah, he lives in a different town. On top of the fact that people want to be in the same house as their spouse. On top of the fact that people want to cuddle and be affectionate and lay next to their spouse. On top of the fact that you all were having issues before she left. Okay. Just on top of all of that. Okay. Well, we know all the different scenarios of how. We understand the scenarios of how. I'm just saying, all men are saying it's different. No, it's not different. We still feel betrayed. We still feel the same betrayal. No, and I'm saying it's not. I'm saying y'all have to look at the totality of the society that we are in. Women are not staying because of these things. Women are staying. Or you got Sally pregnant. Oh, I'm supposed to accept that Sally got pregnant. So why? So I'm gonna figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do. I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna deal with you for about a year and a half. I'm gonna deal with you for about 2 years. I'm gonna deal with you however long I need to deal with you, and then I'm walking out the door. Why the hell she walk out the door? Wow. Hey, Aaron.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm doing good.
Good.
one of these days, what we doing the marriage thing. I told the lady this. You hear this last story?
I heard everything,
Okay.
and
So
you trying to.
what?
I'm gonna go right straight at it.
What?
You can't gloss over the difference in circumstances when you said the only difference is I come home with the baby, and and when the man has a baby, he doesn't come home with the baby. Do you understand those
Uh oh.
different set of circumstances? You just can't gloss
You in
over
and out.
as if it's the same.
You
I'm not
you in
talking about your feelings because you're right. Huh?
you in and out. In and out.
In
I
and
can't
out?
hear you.
Oh, because I'm in my garage. Let me drive out.
Okay.
I pulled in my garage. I'm gonna pull out.
Okay. I've never seen that movie either, Erica. I've never seen it either. I mean, I've seen a scene, the scene where she finds out he has the baby, but I never seen any of the rest of the movie or anything. That ought to be interesting right there. Let's watch it and review. Okay. It's called wait a minute,
All
wait a
right.
minute. What is it
Hello.
called? It's called Fences with who's I know I forgot the lady's name. Denzel Washington and what's the name? Yeah, let's review that. Okay. That's all. That's the only part of that movie I seen is when she's saying, I'll be a mother, but I ain't gonna be your wife or something like that." And that's the only part of that movie I ever seen. I just never, because I'm not a person that's into older movies with older things. Because I hate the way people. I just ain't never seen it. So let's put it on the docket. Let's see if we can look at it on Sunday. Maybe we can look at it on no Thursday. Thursday. Let's see. Y'all need to see that movie. She ended up, yeah. So Okay. It's a deep movie. It's either on Netflix or Amazon Prime. Okay. Okay. It's called Fences. Let's try for Sunday. If we try, let's try for Sunday. Cause that'll give everybody a chance to look at it. Cause I've never seen it ever. Okay. The movie Fences. Okay. Only seen clip. That's all. I've only seen that one clip. So, Aaron, what is your take on this goofy?
So back to what I was saying was that there's
You turn this down.
a there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
There is a planet-sized difference in the circumstances
Mm-hmm.
that you just can't gloss over. I'm not talking about the differences in how a man and a woman would feel, because you're right. I'm not going to purport to be able to tell you how women would respond to things. Not my that's not my purview.
Okay.
But what we can't gloss over is the differences in the circumstances where a woman is by far more likely going to bring that child home and
Mm-hmm.
force that man to live with that child in his life in his in the presence of his life on a daily basis. That is a dramatically different set of circumstances than having to deal with a family across town, as you say. You can't that being the only difference can't be glossed over. That is a huge difference.
Yes, it's a huge difference, but it's
I
also
mean, it is
a
it
mental.
is
It's mental.
categorically in, huh?
I said it's a huge mental thing. So I don't physically have to see this child in order to be traumatized because I know it's there. Though, right?
Right, but if you're going to say that's the equal case, you all right? Are you telling me that having the child in your face on a daily basis isn't more mentally taxing? Not to mention, we already know it's clearly more physically taxing. The
Yes.
moment that child makes a peep and wakes me out of my sleep, that's
Mm-hmm.
physical taxation right there that the woman wouldn't have to deal with the baby being on the other side of town.
Mm-hmm.
So even if we were to state that the mental taxation is the same, which it isn't because I'm looking at this motherfucker in my face,
Mm-hmm.
eating food out of my fridge, the
Right.
moment this baby makes a peep, I gotta hear it.
Right.
I gotta
Right.
smell the diaper genie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You telling me that that is gonna equalize or make up for the the difference in mental taxation,
No,
which
no,
I don't think a person in the world will agree is the same either.
no, no, no.
Knowing something is across town and knowing something sitting next to me because I'm looking at it is going to have a different
Right.
mental tax on you.
Right. So I have to acknowledge that is the biggest difference. True, true. But we will I admit that was yeah, I admit that because seeing a child on a day-to-day basis, yes, that would be taxing. That would be, but then again, it wouldn't be every day that if you're being an involved father, it definitely would be taxing on a female too. Not to the extent that it would be for a man. I'm not even
That's
going over that. It
that's
would
the
be
basis of the premise that we're making. We're not saying that it's not tax. It is no tax that a woman would have to pay, knowing that there's a child outside of her marriage. We're not saying that.
hmm hmm
It is a painful, right, extremely painful endeavor to have to embark upon a marriage where a child was made outside of your marriage, no matter how that looks. But for a man, it
hmm
is categorically worse, just based on the circumstances alone, being
right.
that that child's going to be in his face. That's a different story.
So the responses should be the same though.
No,
Should the
why? If the circumstances and the taxation is different, why should the response be the same?
no, 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 they're the same. They come from the same hellhole. It just happened to be that you get to see it every day, but that's
Hey
still the
Q, an amputation is an amputation. You're saying I should respond to an amputated finger the way I should respond to an amputated leg? No.
I don't see where the feelings would be different. I still would feel the same way.
Between having your leg and your finger bitten off by a shark, you don't see the difference?
Yeah, I see the difference. But I'm saying
Okay.
to me that I would be in it every day. So I would not be able to live with it. So I would be with it every day. I mean,
See,
it
this
wouldn't be
is
a matter. It wouldn't be a matter of, oh, she has the baby across town and you ain't got to see it every day. No, no, it would be the same for me.
So
I would
see, this is the selfishness that men often talk about when it comes to women and the lack of emotional empathy or intelligence. I'm acknowledging everything you're saying a woman would have to go through, but
no,
you can't acknowledge the difference in what a man would
I
have to
see
go
the
through. From
difference.
your
No,
perspective, it is the exact same.
no,
It
I'm
is
saying
not
I
the
see the
same.
difference. I'm saying I see the difference. I see that it would be a different thing to be under the roof with a child in which your spouse had an affair.
You couldn't
We get
possibly see you couldn't possibly see the difference because if you genuinely saw the difference for what it is, there's no
what
way you would suggest the response would be the same. If you
you
saw the difference
you
and knew it, what it was, you would know, huh?
the response of you wanting to leave and not being with that woman. Of course, it would be the same. It would be the same. You wouldn't want to live in that house with that woman.
We're, we're talking about gradient intensities. We're not talking about likenesses. Yes, the responses to want to leave on both sides should be the same. Yes, but the intensity and the desire to leave should be more on one side than the other.
Yeah, but it's
It
still
should be it should be a stronger struggle to stay for one than the other, even though they both want out.
yeah. It could be a stronger struggle, but it's still that need to leave would win out for me. I'm just saying it
Do
would
you,
win out for me.
but do you see
That's
how you went? But do you know how dismissive that is? I
I'm not
understand what you're
defending
saying,
it.
but when I said what I said, you went. But for me, it's right there.
But I'm saying, but for me, for men,
I
it
know
would
you
be
said it again. I know.
I'm saying for men, they would want to leave. I'm saying for me, it may not be the same it is as it is for a man because the child is not in the house. But for me, it would be just like the child would be in the house. I'm saying for me, it would be like the child would be in the house, even though it wouldn't
Oh,
physically be there. For me, it would be like
you
it
know
would.
what you know what you unicorns like to do? Make sure that you're. This is not normal.
I'm just saying it would. Haven't you heard my scenario? Haven't you heard the scenario that it would be hell on the furniture would be moving? It would be hell in that house if I found that kind of thing out. It would be.
I know
Why would I
you're.
leave? Why would I stay?
I
If
know you're the unique breed of speckled tornado. They don't exist except over there. I know, but
I would just be
all I'm
ugly to live with. I just know I just know I would be ugly to live with, and
sure.
I'm not gonna gloss it over. I'm not gonna say I could live with it at some particular point because I know that I would not be able to. I would not go and visit her. I would not go and see the child. I would not be like, hey, just hey, give it time. No, I'm not giving it time. I'm not
I
gonna.
can acknowledge that, and I understand that, and I agree with you. Right? There's nothing in me that would expect you to feel or maneuver differently.
But I
All I'm
understand
saying,
betrayal is better or more on the man's side.
that's all I was trying to get to was the overall macroscopic view of things. There
Yes.
are very different situations, and to say that men and
Mhm.
women are the same is a disingenuous argument when the
Yes.
circumstances themselves would
Yes.
make us very different by force.
Yes. So I'm acknowledging that it's a very different dynamic. And
That's all. Right. That's it.
the response is more intense on the male side because the child is
Correct.
in the house. I'm just
Correct.
saying
That's all.
my brain would just be like,
Yeah, they broke the mold when they made HQ. We know.
Black America. Hello, sir.
Hello, hello, HQ. Hello, Aaron.
Mhm.
What's up, good brother?
What's going on, brother man?
I
Um,
just want you to
I,
acknowledge Black America. I did say there would be hell in the house if that ever happened. Did I not say that a long time ago?
yeah, but
Yes.
I don't give a fuck because I pay most of the bills. You can take your punk ass on. And if we don't, and if we don't have any children, first
Mhm.
of all, first of all, you hit me with the honey bun. Oh, I'm finna be your three-hole dream. We finna have a family. I'm gonna do this, that, and the third.
Mhm.
Then I marry you. You graduate college. You skip town and be
Mhm.
like, well, we not gonna start a family right now.
Oh,
Fuck you.
yeah.
Fuck you. I go find another bitch to have a baby with. Are you
Yeah.
serious? There's plenty of bras that want to bust it open for you.
Yeah.
So that's why I said I didn't come up to disagree with you.
Right.
But this is why this is her fault. It's
Right.
her fault.
It's
You
her
you
fault.
can't
It's her fault. It's her fault for that. It's his
you
fault.
can't change
Right.
you can't change midstream what we are doing. If we are on the same page, you
Hmm.
can't change midstream. We're supposed to be out the same book. And
Right.
he called and told her, and this is what I wanted to tell you initially. Just because he went and had a baby or is having a baby with
Hmm.
another lady
Hmm.
doesn't mean he doesn't love his wife. He still loves his wife.
Right.
That's why he called and told her
Hmm.
instead of the girl who he got pregnant kicking her down the stairs.
Right.
Like are sucking it out that old Hoover vacuum style. That's
Right.
why he called and told, listen, you my girl, I love you, but I am having a baby,
Hmm.
and what are we gonna do? He was going to her for information like how are we gonna handle this shit?
Right.
Not what am I gonna do, but how are we gonna handle this shit? I'm just telling you. Because in a couple of months, this motherfucker will be here, and I don't want you out and around every time you see the damn baby.
I'm
So
gonna say.
that
I would
that's
say.
it.
I'm gonna send you. I send you a housewarming present. Divorce papers.
Yeah, I don't think men have a problem. Once
I
again,
know.
because
I know.
you stepped out of the confines of what I wanted,
Right.
and now you want to break up what we got going on. You already gone. I already can't get cheeks
Hmm.
on a regular basis. You out of town.
Right.
Like
I mean,
that was
I would
destined
have
to
took
fail.
account. I would have took account as soon as he said it. I would have took straight ownership of what my part in it. I would have took straight ownership. You know what? Well, he ain't getting no baby from me, so maybe this is why he did it. Okay, so then I would be. Then I would probably be. If that were the case, and I didn't have any kids with him, and he did that, then I probably would have a little bit more understanding and be like, okay, I didn't want to have kids. I get what you, I didn't want to have kids. You should have told me before you got her pregnant. Okay, where do I send the divorce papers? I would just it would just be that matter of fact for me because we couldn't go from where we came from. There's nowhere to go. We come from you getting somebody pregnant to what I'm supposed to be stepmom. I'm supposed to be, and we're supposed to have kids together. But I'm supposed to.
But we're not having kids together because you don't want to have children.
No, no. She wanted to have children when she got a
That's
little bit,
not
2 or 3 years
that's
older.
not that's not what she said, HQ. You are
Wait a minute.
making up something or reading more into it. I
Mhm.
listened very intently. She said, I changed my mind about having a family or having kids. That's what she said. She didn't say I changed my mind and we gonna do it later. That's not what she said.
He wants to be a father
So
of contour. He says he loves her and
so
wants to raise the baby. He also says he
no,
loves me and wants to work on our marriage. I'm so conflicted. She
you got to go back further than that. You got
he
to go
had
back
been
further than that.
he had been resenting me ever since I changed my mind about starting a family. Yeah, okay. There you go. There you go. I did say that. I did say she has to take accountability for her changing her mind on that. She has to do that. She said she didn't want to start children with him. She said I changed my mind about starting a family with him. It wasn't starting a family. She said with him. So maybe she need to do some more soul searching, and maybe he wasn't the man she
Right,
wanted anyway.
right, right. It's no reason. It'll be like you get married to somebody today. There
Right,
is no progressing. There is no building for
right,
you and another man right now. You guys are just trying to finish out the game together. This is
right.
like the home. It's like the Hunger Games, and y'all gonna go through and just
Mhm.
be shooting shit and fishing and shit like that. Y'all not trying to build a hut or a life together. You're trying to finish the game together. So when a younger man or men
Right,
and women get married, then
right,
you can actually build something
right.
together. So it's just fun.
So if she came home with a baby, if your wife you found out after she had a baby, you found out that baby wasn't yours 2 years in, you leaving?
Am I leaving?
Yeah.
Uh, how long we been married?
Maybe 5 years.
Yeah, I would leave. I would leave at 5 years. I would leave at 5 years because the penalty is not that great. You see what I mean? It has to do with the
Right,
back end penalty.
right.
The song, it was a song called "It's Cheaper to Keep Her"
Yeah,
because it's penalties
right,
after a certain amount of time.
right,
Somebody that's been married under 7 years, yeah, go ahead. She ain't doing what you want her to do. You ain't doing what he wants you to do. Go ahead and leave. There are no penalties. You
right,
get up to that 10 year mark, then shit starts looking a whole lot different. Y'all got kids together,
right,
and then that's not my kid. Shit
right.
starts looking a whole lot different. You know
Yeah,
what? I'm gonna give you a for instance. My number one, she had her insides taken out in, I want to say, like 2010, 2011.
right.
Hey, HQ, my
Yeah.
baby turned 8 yesterday. You see what I mean?
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So we had a birthday party yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because she was like, "Oh, I miss the smell of kids." You know how you women get. "Oh, I miss the smell of kids." I'm like, "This, I got 15 kids running around here. Go smell one of them motherfuckers. Like you got grandchildren
Right.
already. Oh, well, you need to go have another baby. Well,
I
go
mean,
find me a bitch
I
to
have
have
that
a baby with.
same. I mean, I have that same longing sometimes, but then I look over and be like, "Oh, hell no, hell
Right. So,
no."
so go get me another woman to have a baby with, and that's exactly what she did. You
Okay.
see what I mean? So
Right.
it's but you coming at home with me with a baby, and I have to feed it McDonald's. I have to pay for gymnastics. You know how much gymnastics is, huh? You know how much dance is. You
Mm-hmm.
you don't you don't realize. You know how much Faith Lutheran tuition is for the kids to go to school on a monthly basis. Like that 529 plan, all of that shit is expensive,
Right.
and we have to pay for it as men. You
Right.
guys aren't paying for it all. You guys not paying for Disney World or Disneyland.
You wild,
You
age.
know
You
what?
wild, tell you, bro. I don't require the child to be my child. I don't require the child to be my child. It could be anybody's child. It just be a little baby. I take care of a little baby. I raise it. I do everything with it. It don't have to be mine. I raise whoever got a single baby, a mama.
Okay, but then you got a problem with your husband having a kid and bringing home the baby. I don't understand. That's
Yeah.
why it's kind of oxymoronic.
No, 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 no. I'm
I,
saying
I,
me single as a single person. As a single person, I would raise a baby. I'd be more than happy to have take care of a baby. But if I had a husband, that would be a different story. I mean, that'd be a different story. I'd take my eggs out, and then I have somebody. I have us put together, and then we could have a baby, and we'd have a surrogate. Of course. But I wouldn't want to do that now. Hell no. Mm-mm. That's the second problem with being nearsighted about baby. Babies grow up to be adults. Yes. Yes. Letter number 3. My husband told me he wanted a divorce. He told me he no longer loves me. He said he cares that I'm the mother of his child, but he has no love for me. Okay? It's all just gone. This was all after a giant explosion of a fight in the car. He kept talking over me and kept repeating the same things. I then called him a name. And now that I look back on it, he was baiting me to say it. Uh-oh. But he got in my face and then kicked me out of the car on the side of the road on a dangerous road with no shoulder. I should probably be the one to ask for a divorce because he's been awful many times and I'm finally starting to fight back and stand up for myself. Now this happens. Why am I so depressed and I feel so sick? Why is she depressed, Black America? You out of there?
because she can't have her way. because he has been soft on her and spoiling her for so long, and she was in the finger, and she was pointing her finger at his forehead, and
Mm-hmm.
he finally was trying to grow a pair and tell her no, and she didn't like it, so now she's mad, and she calling him names, shaming him, and all type of shit.
I
Get the
say,
fuck out.
yeah. I
Get the
mean,
fuck. I did
yeah.
it to my grandmother. My grandma was popping gum in my car one time. I said,
Boy.
Granny, you can't be popping gum in my car, Granny. Like I hear that shit. It's irritating as fuck. You can't tell me. Oh, all right. Your ass got to get out. You gotta fucking go, Grandma. I'm not fucking playing. All my cousins, they was mad as fuck.
What?
It's a
You
true
did.
story. My,
You did.
my cousins, they was mad as fuck. We was going somewhere, but she
Mm-hmm.
was popping gum in the car, sitting right next to me. Get
Mm-hmm.
the stop it, stop it. If she
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't stop it, I turned around. I had to put her ass right on out. I did.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do it. You don't want to do what the fuck I want you to do. You're out of here.
That's your grandmother, though, bro. That's your grandmother.
I don't give a fuck. She was mean. She used to make us go to the neighbor's house and ask the preacher for some fresh cow milk for cow for the cereal. I
Right.
Man, get the fuck out. Eating porridge and shit like that. Like, stop it. Get the fuck out, Granny.
That's wild. I'd be like, oh, I ain't talking to you no more. I ain't talking to you no more. How you gonna do that? But anyway, the way what I look at it, how I look at it is, she's just been a doormat all this time. She just been a doormat all this time, and then now that she's starting to talk, now that she's starting to say things back, he don't like her saying things back. And now that you said things back, now he ain't trying to put up with it. So that's why he was upset with you talking back to him. And he put you out. Okay. And that can happen. That happens a lot. But the thing is, you got to know your voice when you get into relationships, or you need to find your voice when you get into relationships. Otherwise,
But
people
HQ,
gonna say anything.
that's changing up though. HQ, you can't change up. You know what my dad told me a
Wait a
long
minute, are
time
you
ago.
saying
He's
if I walk in the marriage? Are you saying if I walk into the marriage shy, I can't become assertive later on?
hell no, stay the same way. We
But no,
pray
but
that women stay.
people
No,
don't say the
listen,
same. People change.
listen, listen. Women get married hoping that their men change. Men get married hoping that their wives stay the same. That that is an old saying, and it is always rang true. We don't want you to change. You can get fat, you can get ugly, but to us, you still look the same as a teenager,
Mm-hmm.
right? You
Mm-hmm.
still look you still look that like that same girl to me that was walking around the neighborhood in
Mm-hmm.
them cut off jean shorts and shit like that. And but you want us to change. We don't want you to change. Don't start acting out because if you start puffing your chest up, I gotta start acting like a nigga towards you. And nobody wants to do that.
That's the thing. The whole point is you have to. People change in marriage, Black America. There's no way. There's no way. If I'm married to you at 20, you 21 or 22 or whatever, and then 20 years later, I'm still that 21, 22-year old. That's not how that works. I, of course, have hopefully I've learned a little bit more over the years. Hopefully, I've learned a little bit more about talking and communicating. Hopefully, I've learned a little bit more about X, Y, and Z. I get it. Men don't want women to change, but the whole point is that you have to change. You can't stay stagnant. Nobody can stay stagnant. Nothing lasts if you stay stagnant. It's just it
What
would
what
never work.
does what does stagnant mean to you? You tell me what stagnant means to you.
That means I'm trudging along very slowly and at a microscopic pace.
Okay, so that's not what stagnant means, right?
That
Stagnant
means
means
what?
so let me explain. I'm a mansplainer to you.
What?
Stagnant means that you are just stuck in the doldrums and you stay a cashier at Smith's
Yeah.
forever or stocking at Smith's forever. That's not what men do, HQ. The older we get, the better we get. We do, but we don't change. We don't change who we are. That same nigga that we had beef with in high school, we still got beef with that nigga. I,
But
we don't change.
yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Maybe that's a part of why women in relationships, because men don't change and they need them to change. I know what stagnant means. Maybe they don't change and that's they need them to change. Maybe that's a part of that. I don't know. I'm figuring all this shit out. I'm just figuring shit out, right? I'm just like every other human being, okay? So my whole thing is maybe that's a part of the problem. Men never want to change, and everything changes. Women are constantly changing because we're chaotic and different and want to do this, that, and the third, all kinds of things, and we want our husbands or our boyfriends or whatever to change with us.
Do you hear women nowadays saying men are still acting immature? Do you hear women say that?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, that's because we're not going to change. I told you, it is wired. It's baked into the cake. Men are just simply not going. I don't care what you do. Men are not going to change.
So how
We
do we
we
expect women? So why do you all expect women to stay the when women are never going to stay the same? She wants to evolve. Everybody wants to evolve and do something different beyond what they are. A lot of people want a lot of people change regardless of whether they want to or not. You become older, you become more knowledgeable. Hopefully, you become more emotionally mature. Hopefully, no, and then why is it that men would want to stay the same and then expect women to stay? Women are never going to stay the same. Women are always going to be striving for something else. So it can't be that you just say, I'm going to stay the same and then that's going to be it. Because otherwise you're accepting that women are going to change, you're not going to change, and they're always going to be on different pages, and therefore the relationship is never going to be in harmony. I hope I explained that right. How do you make that leap? If I'm not gonna change, but she changes, how y'all gonna get mad at women who leave when men say, "Well, we ain't changing," but when we women say, "Well, we always change. We're always changing. We're always evolving. We're always doing different things." But I'm with you, and I want you to grow with me. Well, I ain't growing. How y'all gonna get mad that they leave then?
The answer is really because what you're asking for isn't growth. What you're asking for is arbitrary change. See,
Mhm.
this change that you speak of, no
Mhm.
one gets to be the arbiter of the change. No one gets to decide if whatever it is you're changing to is better or worse than wherever it is you're changing from. But the one thing that we always know is for sure, and I don't like using absolutes, but I'm going to use always. It's universal consistency.
Uh-oh.
We know that consistency. You can hear me? You can't hear me?
Yeah, yeah, you're there.
Oh, okay. So we know that consistency breeds predictability, and that's the best way to ensure that everyone is kept honest, right?
Yeah.
When we a lot of times we say we married you for a reason. Why
Mhm.
would you want to deviate from that reason when you're not sure if wherever you're deviating to, you can't force me to want to accept, like, love, cherish, or be attracted to wherever it is you're going to. But
Mhm.
one thing we know for sure of is when I married you for a reason,
Right.
right? So you're asking that reason to change. Now, if you're asking me to be the arbiter of that change, then you have to make the change that I want you to make. And when men ask women to do that, that's all kind of catastrophe, right? So we're not going to do that. The best thing we have next to do is to just try to be who it is that got you in the first place. Now,
Hmm.
that doesn't mean that we can't grow.
Hmm.
Growth is a different thing. But growth, there's no arbiter to growth,
Well,
right?
that's
The only
why.
thing
Well,
that
maybe I
the only arbiter
interchanged the
to growth is
words.
success.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I interchanged the words. I meant growth. I mean, growth. We all have growth, and we all do a little bit of growth here and there. I'm not saying we all get stagnant. I'm saying people get stuck
Oh,
in their ways and don't want to grow along with maybe the marriage or feelings or.
well, that doesn't. You don't have a choice, right? All growth requires change. All change doesn't require growth.
Hmm.
If you're in a marriage longer than a day, then you've grown because you've grown older, which means who you are today is not who you are yesterday. But
Right.
like I always lean on, and here you got me using another absolute always, lean on communication. Communicate the changes that have been made within you to your partner, and
Hmm.
communicate the safety that they need to feel to be able to communicate those changes to you, and then operate on what you've communicated to one another. So
Right.
if you don't have a taste for salmon anymore, that's fine. You've grown into liking steak, but you need to communicate that with me,
Right.
and don't expect for me to give up salmon restaurants. You're crazy. We'll
Right.
find a restaurant that serves salmon and steak because you can blacken or grill the both of them.
Oh,
See,
okay.
that's what growth is.
Right. 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 I got you. Ty Pro.
What's up, Booski? You can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
How you doing, Aaron? What's good, brother?
We get fat
Nothing
bar.
to it, brother. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well also.
Yes, sir. Good to hear.
So,
Good to hear.
what's your take on this?
I think that, in my humble opinion, you kind of spoke to two things that a lot of time when women say growth, they really mean change, and the definitions are different, but you use them interchangeably.
Hmm.
And you spoke to why a lot of women just up and leave their man. It's because they say we grew apart or we growed apart, but they really just changed. They really just flipped the script. And I feel like I said it in the chat. A lot of times you hear that a lot. You hear that when they explain on Kendrick G, like, oh, I left, we got a divorce 9 months after I had the baby because we grew it apart. It's because a lot of time women think emotionally primarily. Like
No,
that's they
no.
pri
Why is it that if I say if why is it that if I say that I have growth, why is my growth? Why isn't my? Why do you? No, we have to listen to what Black America said. Black America said they don't want to change. You don't want to change in no way, shape, or form. Why should you? Why should you? Knowing as an adult person, knowing that people grow and people change, why would you think you would stay? You it would be okay for you to be stagnant as Black Americans say, but it wouldn't be the same for me. I don't feel it's okay for me to
because
be stagnant.
you're again you conflating growth and change. I don't want to change, but I want to grow every day, and I don't
Okay,
stay
now,
stagnant.
but I
Hold
already
on, hold
said that
on.
I
Let
already said
me
that I
let
was
let me
interchanging them. So I
let
meant
me
growth.
So I'm about to, I got you. But when you don't mean growth, you're saying growth, but you really mean change.
No,
Like
I meant
Aaron,
growth.
Aaron get
I meant
growth is
yeah,
making more money, acquiring more knowledge. Hey, I might start reading a little more. I might pick up an extra hobby. Those are things
yeah.
that contribute to growth.
That's growth. Right.
Change is I wake up in this normal life and I say, you know what? I'm bored. This life is boring me. You're stagnant. All you want to do is you don't want to. I want to go parasail across the world now. I want to
Wait a
wine
minute. Wait a
taste in
minute.
Italy. Like
Wait.
these are
You
extreme
you
changes.
trying to no,
These
I meant
these
growth. Let's be clear. I meant growth. I understand what you're saying. Don't put the
Mhm.
coat on me when I just told you I'm taking the coat off. You're trying to keep the coat on me when I said change. I said I
Yeah.
meant growth.
So
I
what's an
understand it. I
example?
understand the difference
Give me
between
an
change and growth.
give me an example of a way where if me and you are married. We've been married 10 years. You
Hmm.
say, I won't change, I won't grow. Would it be an example of that to
Well,
me?
it wouldn't be a matter of me telling you that I have changed or growth. It would just be a matter of personality difference. Some things that I do differently, some things that I respond to. Last year, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, I would, 5 years ago, I would, if a chick looked at you funny, I'd be ready to punch her in the face. Today, I'm
Mhm.
not ready to punch her in the face. Today, I understand that you might be an attractive man, and I compliment you. I compliment you for that. So that's growth. I understand that
Mhm.
beating somebody up is not the way to go. So I understand growth. Change would
Mhm.
change would be I would switch up immediately, whereas I would try to get the attention as opposed to you getting the attention. That would be a negative change. I mean growth, as in
Okay, you killed that. You did that. You did that.
so I
Yeah,
mean
but
as in growth. I meant as in we're married for 5, 10 years, and we got one or two kids or whatever, and then I say, hey, hon, X, Y, and Z. You know that new X, Y, and Z that you said you wanted to do. You said you wanted to try something. Why don't you try that? Maybe that might be a good idea. You said you wanted to about 4 or 5 years ago, but you never did. So are you still interested in that? And you tell me, no, I ain't doing nothing. I'm just right there. I'm not moving. That's what I mean by not wanting to
well,
grow.
I I I don't usually see. I mean, you may see it, but I don't usually see marriages dissolve because of growth. More so over somebody changed personality type, and they just going with a like an emotional response to a situation. Now they're
But
acting
see, you
different.
gotta, you
I
gotta,
can't really, I can't really speak to. I don't
but
really
see,
see the
you
negative.
gotta get past that. You gotta get past that knee jerk reaction that you have for to automatically assume that the woman is doing something negative because she leaves. That's a knee jerk reaction. Every woman doesn't just leave for no reason just because she changed. There might have been growth in her too. There might have been growth in him. She might have seen that she wasn't up to snuff and then decided that she didn't want to be there anymore. It could be any number of things. So I'm saying it can't just necessarily be that she changed. He could have changed up on her too. He could have been hanging out. He could have been the nicest guy in the world, steadfast, worked every day, did everything, and all of a sudden, he ain't that person no more. He ain't going to work every day. He not doing X, Y, and Z. Something is going on. What's going on? You changing. You changed so long that I got used to you changing, and now I don't want to deal with that change anymore. So now I gotta go. I switched up. You say I switched up. You say I changed because I want to go, but you changed on me too. But I never said anything. I was willing to live with it, but you weren't. But you weren't willing to change. You were just You weren't willing to grow. You were just changing. I mean, there's different scenarios. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying it's not always the woman's fault that she walks out the door after 70% being married. 70% of the women walking out the door. It's not always necessarily why she walked out the door. It could have been many factors that put her through that door. Okay. I'm just saying, I don't blame him. I don't blame her. It's just sometimes people outgrow each other. It just is what it is. And we got to admit, some people just outgrow each other. And then again, we're in that culture where people are leaving people all the time. So I'm just saying, get out of the knee jerk reaction of blaming
Mm.
women because they leave. Because sometimes men do things that make her leave. So I'm saying,
She still should stay, even if I bring two babies on.
no, that ain't how that goes. That's not how that goes. You know it. That's not how that goes. How because Aaron already we already went through that because Aaron already knows it's not the same. I know it's not the same. I know it's not the same because you would have to see that child every day, every day, every day, every day. It would be a physical manifestation of the betrayal that your wife did, right? That's exactly what it would be, right?
Right.
So I understand that it's different. It's a physical look, but I'm saying for me, it would be just like the child would be in the house. Because every time I would look at you, I would think this motherfucker got a kid. That ain't my kid. Cross town.
No, you got me with the change and the growth thing because I was definitely going. My point be a lot of times I feel like women say change, they coming from an emotional change and not really no substance to it. They just woke up. I'm bored and I want to go eat raw fish in Japan or something. Just because it do happens though. That does
Oh yeah, it does
happen
happen.
a lot.
It happens.
And I think to Black America's point, a
Right.
lot of time men don't really change our personality type. We kind of grow
Right.
our personality more. Like
Mm-hmm.
the person who we are, we just grow into that man more and more and more. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We don't really just like the same type of cat Black America was in high school, the same type of cat I'm sure Aaron or myself was when we were younger. We
Mm-hmm.
had the same foundation. We just got smarter. We got wiser. We bumped our head. We made mistakes, but we stayed on course of that same person.
Right.
And I think a lot of times women can change their whole CPU and be a whole nother
Stop the
person.
cap.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's Flow Glow. Hello, hello,
You don't
hello.
know what name. I don't know what name I'm gonna show up as. Don't even mind. I
Oh,
ain't.
this is
Yeah,
RNF.
the
This is
many
RNF.
faces,
Okay.
many names. Hi, glorious love. She trying to be incognito. She trying to
No,
sneak up here.
I'm incognito. I don't know what I'm.
I'm just trying to, I'm just trying to navigate why that 70% always seems to hit the door. What the hell is going on in that 70% that make women walk out the door?
Women should stay in their marriage if because your marriage is not, your marriage is a solemn promise, and you should stay in your marriage, and that's period. That's I'm a firm believer of that. But
Okay.
what I wanted to say when I said stop the cap is, and the reason why I came up is because y'all got all these reasons, why and saying why the women leave and all of that stuff, and then men don't change. I had to call back up because y'all always putting some stuff
All right,
in here.
Paul. Get him. Get him.
I, I,
Get
I'm not understanding that because y'all be the main ones outside in the street, and not y'all personally, you all,
right.
in the street because you're saying your wife didn't gain weight,
Mm-hmm.
so that you gives you an excuse to get your, not y'all, sorry behind out there in the street and screw everything out there because my wife has quote unquote changed from when I married her. She
Mm-hmm.
ain't, she done gained weight. She keep taking care of the kids. She ain't got time for me, and that has changed since I got married. So therefore, I'm gonna hit the streets. So y'all saying that the women leave all the time because the man has not changed, but
Mm-hmm.
y'all leave essentially
Mentally.
mentally and physically. You ain't packed your clothes up and left, but you out as Susie's across the street or whatever, or the Don Quisha's
Mm-hmm.
every other night and stuff like that.
No, not her. Have you seen her? Good Lord, not her.
No, y'all
Triple
be out with Don
wig.
Quisha too.
Talking
Y'all be
about
out with
the
Don.
No, no, no,
Y'all
no, no, no,
the
no. We ain't
pirate,
we ain't finna go. We
pi-
ain't finna go there.
pirate of
But
the
she'll
Caribbean.
show up on this panel. She'll show up on this panel, and I can't do that. Don't.
Yeah,
Pirate of the
don't say it three. It's
Caribbean.
like saying Beetlejuice 3 times. Don't you
Oh no,
do
I
it.
don't mean. Oh, that's a real person's name. That's a real person name.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
The
okay. I'm sorry.
motherfucker will be here talking about it's showtime. No, no.
yeah.
Okay, I'm
Don't say
sorry.
that name. So continue, Flo.
But
Continue.
well, Moesha, shoot, I don't know. Somebody, Isha, some Isha, y'all over
Well,
there
yeah,
with,
that works. We like it.
yeah, across town with. So stop saying this. And Black America's gone, but he was the primary one saying the stuff that 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 women don't change. However, he said we remain the same, or we stay because we could figure that y'all don't change, or however he put it. Y'all leave because women change, and that's your main thing of saying the reason why you outside the marriage is because they changed.
Mm.
So you're right. And first, let me breathe credence into everything you said is correct and factual. And I do believe it's an indictment against men that is deserved for the men that perpetrate those reactions. Right? I'm
Mm-hmm,
not
mm-hmm.
taking away from nothing you said. but we all know I like to put definitions to things, and just so we can communicate clearly. What you're referring to is fatigue, right?
Right.
Change is change. It's a maneuver away from the status quo. Growth is change for the better or for success. Fatigue is the fallout from growth. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, a woman is gonna put on weight because she had children. Her shit
Yes.
changed, but she grew into parenthood, right? Which is a
Hmm.
successful change.
Right.
That change is going to have some fallout. The gaining of weight, the changing of the mental ability to deal with stress.
Hmm.
That change is called fallout. That's fatigue, right? And for a man to want to move on based on a woman's fatigue, which is a change that
Mm-hmm.
is a fallout from growth, is not fair to the woman.
Mm.
I,
Yeah,
I, I
it's
will
totally
grant you
not
that
fair.
all day.
Okay.
Now,
Totally
now,
not fair.
only if he doesn't communicate it and doesn't coach and help and assist her with
Right.
solving whatever the problem is. Now, if he communicates it and she sees it and commits to making things whole again, and he gets on board with helping her restore herself back to where she was, because that's not a path that's for her to travel down alone. She gave your ass kids, son. If you want the snap back, you got to help her snap back.
That's
Okay.
it.
You got to
That's
motivate her, right? Because the growth, the fatigue that she's feeling is growth that you both are benefiting from. So let's not get
okay.
goofy there. But as
Okay, but
long as that's communicated,
let's say she didn't
that
have kids though. Let's say she didn't have kids. Let's say she
and
didn't
she's
have
deep.
kids, and
And
it's
she
not
just
about
got fat.
wait. No, well, no. Okay, we'll take some of the weight off the table. She didn't have kids, but there's some other physical things that have happened to her.
Oh,
You know, not fat or nothing like that, but some other physical things. She doesn't look exactly the same.
right.
Oh, age.
Yeah, age. We'll
Oh,
say age, and let's
Okay.
say the things that come along with that age of some kind of physical, something physical.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Gravity. I got you. So has she done a reasonable diligence with combating that? Does she live a healthy
What?
lifestyle? Is she eating well, exercising
Let me tell
well?
you, say y'all get ready to make me mad. Okay, I'm
Well, no,
trying.
I'm just asking a question. That's all.
Yeah, she's done all of that, but okay, she's
Oh,
done
well,
all of
then
that.
she's good. Then then time. Listen, Mother Nature is a bitch, but Father Time is a motherfucker,
yeah.
right? And he will
You
even
ain't
fuck
escaping it. There's only one way
right.
to escape Father Time. You
And that's
Mm.
the deal with it. Exactly. So if Father Time is kicking her ass as everybody's ass gets kicked by, even Mother Nature herself, which is why Father Time is a motherfucker,
Right.
then you got to deal with that, son. She's aging. Oh well, that is your
Mhm.
that now it's time to trigger your duty, your sense of duty and
That's
commitment
it.
maritally
That's it.
to stay in
I,
there.
People
I did a
fail to
vi- I did
realize about
yes.
marriage. It is duty. Marriage is not
Yes,
no one
I did
time
a
ceremony.
video
It is duty.
on another note, on a different note. I did a video or a short. This man said, "I'm not attracted to my wife anymore. She
What
got
the,
fat
and
because she got pregnant. Because she was fat and she got pregnant and she had a little weight on her."
Mhm.
I was like, bro, where's the loyalty? What the hell is
Mhm.
going on that you don't have loyalty to your wife and she just had a baby? I mean, give her. How long do you think a woman should wait before a woman pulls herself back into shape after having a baby? How long do you think she?
maritally
Yes.
until death do you part. Didn't that what you said?
No, 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 no. I'm saying, how long will you give her to snap back after having?
Until death do. What do you, when you say give
Oh,
her?
okay,
What's
okay. I
what's
get
the
it.
consequence?
Okay.
The
I
consequence
s-
of leaving
Well, yeah, you guys say
until death.
But not just walking out the door permanently, stepping out. Let's just stepping out.
stepping out, stepping
if
out.
she was getting sloppy
No,
and the kid then turned five
Yeah,
five
that's
years
what that would make
old,
me mad.
and the kid, let's say the kid 5 years old now, and she ain't did nothing about her weight, she done got big, she done got sloppy,
Right,
then yeah, that'd be an issue. But the first 1 or 2, even going on 3 years,
right,
what I'm saying? As long as she's healthy, it's not gonna be there because usually I had 2 kids. Usually that little baby fat ain't nothing and it falls off. By the time the kid eating solid food, she gonna be getting her body back together. And I'm with that. I'm with everything you and Aaron just said. But like my idea of what would make me start looking at her funny would be like if she was like she was pretty natural. She didn't wear fake lashes, you know what I'm saying? She might wear, a weave not every now and again, and then now she wearing hot pink wigs and super big giant butterfly eyelashes and go and get a face tat or something drastic like that. Then
Right.
we have a problem. Now we got a problem. But
Right.
natural having you giving me my children that if we all getting older together, that's natural. That ain't really that wouldn't, what I'm saying, I don't think that would a lot of men would just up and leave or cheat on a
Hmm.
woman because of that.
Hmm.
It have to be a drastic personality change. Like you
Right.
done shaved half your head and you got, you doing one of them half shaved head looks or something like that.
See, I think most people can live with reasonable human beings. If you don't vary from one side of the from pillar to post, if you don't vary like that, you should stay in that marriage. If you don't vary from, if you ain't no drug problem, no drinking problem, you ain't putting your hands on me, you ain't cheating like you don't lost your damn mind, you ain't as long as you're not doing them extremes, people should be able to make a marriage work. You should be able to make a marriage work if they ain't doing all this weird shit that people may or may not be doing. And my thing is, you say the 70% of people leave. Okay, so what's happening in that 70%? The 70% is the shit on the outside. The cheating, running around all night, drinking, drugging, X, Y, and Z. That's the stuff that's happening that makes the bulk of those people walk out on those marriages. That's the
It's
bulk of
cute. It's cute. I was watching Kevin Samuel's reaction. You got me kind of watching his old reactions, and
them.
it was a lady on there with three kids by her husband.
Hmm.
Husband paid all the bills, taking care of the household.
Hmm.
She left him, moved, got Section 8 housing, and her reasoning was because she just wanted to do something differently and she wanted to get back in touch with herself. That's a part of that 70% too.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that there's not people out there that don't have a justifiable reason to leave. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the bulk of the people that leave at 70% is one of these outliers that happen all the time. Because most people leave because of a reason. There's plenty of men that leave too. They leave emotionally, like Flo Glow was saying. They leave emotionally. So do you think it's better for me to stay and you done left me emotionally? You ignore me when you come home. Whenever you only time you touch me is when you want to have sex. Only time you talk to me is if we got to do something, we got to pay something. When the kids do something, you've already left me emotionally. And I just ain't said nothing. And for years, I just take it, I take it, I take it. And on the outside, you can be considered a good man. But on the inside, to me, you have ignored the emotional and the whatever the unseen emotional labor that or unseen emotional stuff that I need you to do. You appear to be a good man, but and you didn't cheat, but X, Y, and Z because I needed that. I was starving for that, and I asked you for that, but you couldn't give it to me. So why is it she gets demonized? A woman would get demonized. I mean, isn't there's women like that, right? Glow. There's women
Mm-hmm.
like. So I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
there's plenty of women that are like that. I'm not saying it's a whole bunch of them. I'm saying it's some of those women. When people say women just leave for no reason, this could be some of those reasons too. Is that you left already emotionally? You left me already. You cheat every once in a while, but you don't tell me you cheat. But I know you do. But I ain't never confronted you. I ain't never said nothing about it. You ain't brought no babies home. You ain't brought no diseases home. But I can tell that you've been with somebody else. You
Right.
don't say nothing.
And
How?
that's it.
No, yeah.
The
And
the
you find
only
that a lot of men, and this is what I find a lot now that's happening. A lot of men will essentially cause that divorce but then blame the woman for being the one who actually called it quits. But they've done everything in their power
Mm-hmm.
to alienate that woman. I'm finding that it's not in every case, but I'm finding that they stay out. They go out with bum Quisha, and they having babies all over the place. They cheating here, cheating there. They're not communicating or spending time with their wife or anything like that. But
Mm-hmm.
then when the woman gets sick of it, and then they say, I can't take this anymore, I'm out.
Right.
Then it said, oh, she left me, or the woman was or the wife was the reason for this divorce, although the man had divorced her a long time inside the marriage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because that could be that's a part of some of that 70.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just
I
don't
think a great deal of it.
I just don't buy into the fact that women just leave for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Up and leave. There's a percentage. There is a percentage that do. I get that too. Cause you boring. Your sex ain't good. Your shit is whatever. I feel like finding myself. I can't find myself. I don't know what to do. I shouldn't have got married. I didn't know myself when I got married. There's some women who do that too. There's some women who do that too. So when we say 70% are leaving, you can't just say, a man just can't say she got to stay in that marriage, because you never know what's going on in that marriage. You never know what's going on in somebody's marriage until you actually hear the reasons behind that marriage. Like I said, I have a girlfriend and her husband just told her, the outside baby that he had, he want to go help. He want to go help raise that outside baby. So I need to leave you. What kind of fuck shit is that? Somebody I know, somebody I talk to like every other day. This shit happened to them. So all kinds of crazy shit be happening in these relationships, in these marriages, and people can't just and this person, this husband is more than happy to let her keep doing the shit she doing for him. Keep doing the shit. I said, wait a minute, why the fuck? Why y'all still see? Y'all still talking? Why are you fucking talking to him? After he told that to you, after he said that to you, why are you still talking to that man? Well, he my husband. Get out of here. So a couple years down the road, when she's had enough, she'll be out the door and gone. Then people say, well, why'd she leave? That stuff happened years ago. I'm just saying, when people want to blame the woman, you have to think of the circumstances that might be behind that happened year one, that happened year two, and here it is year seven, and then she leaves on year seven. So we have to think in terms of that. It could be any number of things, right? Black America.
All right. So I have. Is it okay to ask a question about that? About the lady who you talked to? Because I remember you talking
Yeah,
about it a few weeks back. Is
yeah,
it
go
okay
ahead.
to ask a question about her?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. HQ.
Mm-hmm.
What is her age range? Is she a Gen
40,
Xer or
40,
she's 40 years old? All right.
40s. She's in her 40s. I don't know
Okay.
exactly how.
40s.
Yeah,
Right. Because I remember you saying she was a friend of the other friend.
yeah.
How attractive is she, HQ?
Uh,
And that tells it all. You don't even have to say anything else. How
I'm not saying anything
and
because I don't know whether they would be listening or somebody would be listening. You know what I'm
no,
saying?
no,
Give
it's fine. It's fine. It's
okay.
fine
Mm-hmm.
because I already know how women describe women,
Mm-hmm.
and and evidently that this guy is a player, right? This guy is the cool guy. He's the guy that has a lot of options. He's the guy that has all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
She went into a different league and thought she was petting bunny rabbits and thought she could get in the cage with a lion. That's
Mm-hmm.
what happened. And she was gunning above her weight class.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with it, but
which is what I said when they first got together, which is what I said. Like, because I asked him when he first started to mess with her. I was like, dude, don't do that. Don't do that. I already know where you go. Don't do that. And I said that to him directly like that. Don't do that.
Vagina adjacent. I keep going back to it, HQ.
Yeah, but this is a
It's
this is a six and a two.
exactly, but you want some booty on demand. And evidently she was stable. He was like, you know what, I could fuck with her.
Mm-hmm.
Because we
Mm-hmm.
don't, like I say, we don't look at you guys like you we don't look at you guys for love like you look at us. We don't.
Right.
We just say, you know what, I could fuck with that. I'll take a little bit of that. So
Right.
when he went and did whatever else he did, he like, bitch, you can either stay on the program. I'm telling you, I'm being honest and upfront with you. I'm telling you about it.
I'm
You can
I'm
either
listening.
stay on the program or you can kick rocks
Okay.
because
Right.
you're not all that in a bag of chips.
Oof. Oof. I hope that's not what he said. I hope that's not what he said. I hope.
I'm pretty sure because he sounds like a straight up nigga. He
Mm.
sounds like an asshole, and
He
he's
just said,
gonna do it.
"I'm going over there. I'm going over there to help raise X, Y, and Z."
Yes, yes,
Just
that's niggas. He didn't come on with a bowed head or sorrowful or anything like that.
no.
This is the program, and either you can stay on the train or you can jump off. And I'm not stopping the train. You can jump off, tuck and roll, fat bitch. That's basically what he told me,
Well,
and
so
I'm
when
pretty
I
sure.
go to the program, when I go where I got to go tomorrow, I'll probably see this person, and I'll know instantly. I will know instantly if he made it back into the good graces. I think he did, although I think he did. And I said to him, I said, you ain't got no back, or you don't have no boundaries. You don't your boundaries, your standard, all that is
She
gone.
she she don't have anywhere to go. It's nothing but a benefit for her to be with him. She don't
Mm-hmm.
have no, and that's why I keep telling you, women who are unattractive, those
Mm-hmm.
are the women you see complaining about. Oh, that nigga did this and that nigga did that. That nigga did. You know why you see them complaining? Because niggas use them like they're blowing their nose like a napkin, and they're throwing them away
Mm-hmm.
because that's all they're. I I'm just trying to be honest with ladies. That
No, no,
is
no.
what an
I accept.
unattractive
I accept.
that is what an unattractive woman is used for. If you're having those outcomes where all of the men are calling you after 11 o'clock at night, go
Oh,
find you an old man that
oh,
want to walk to the damn mall with you and hold his hand. If you can't find a man that's going to do that, if the nigga is taking you to the matinee all the time,
mm-hmm.
if y'all got to go to the 11 o'clock matinee, the first movie when ain't nobody gonna be there every time, that, that's not who you want to hang out with. As it,
Mm,
it's not. It's just like my thing about the shoes. If a man
mm-hmm.
has more than 5 pair of shoes, if he has more than 5 pair of shoes, except for Ty Pro, right? Ty Pro might have more than 5 pair of shoes, but
He might have
but
more gym shoes,
I
yeah.
was just about to be
but
like, hold on.
but I know that Ty Pro also has a pair of work boots,
Right,
right?
right,
So
right.
Yes,
so
sir.
I am I am talking about niggas with a bunch of pair of shoes, and then all of them are clean as hell. They got them clean Air Force Ones, all white. They got the clean Jordans and this, that, and the other. Those are Don't talk to those men. Those are bad men. Those are selfish men. Men
Mm,
who will spend money on themselves like that are selfish as fuck, and they are not worth a woman who wants to be in a committed, healthy relationship. They are not worth your time. They're going to use you, and you'll be thrown away like a sanitary napkin. I'm
I
going
mm.
never
on mute.
heard you I never heard you say that before, Black America, but damn, that makes so much sense. Like, because you know what I'm saying, in my younger days, that was accurate. and I got a lot of brothers, cousins and whatnot. That's
Mm-hmm.
very true. I got gym shoes that's clean, but I wear my steel toe boots every day though. So I'm in
Right.
boots and work
So it doesn't
clothes.
so it doesn't apply to you, and it applies
Yeah.
to them because we know that them brothers they hopping in one bitch car and out of another
Yep.
bitch car,
Yep.
and the niggas are fresh to death. They got their jeans creased with a fresh pair of shoes on. That's what women are looking for, not you, HQ, right? Not
Yeah,
you.
nah,
You the
you
needle,
spitting facts.
you the needle in the haystack. But that's what other women are looking for, HQ. So that's what all of these men, niggas that don't got two wooden nickels to rub together, they
Right.
make sure they go to the park where it's running water and wipe off them shoes because they know I at least gotta look clean so I
Mm-hmm.
can knock a bitch so I can eat.
Yep.
So
You could get resources from the chicks that's
So
gonna
you
see
can get
that. Yeah.
no, why?
Yeah.
so you can get
Bro
so you
cooking.
can get resources from these bottom of the barrel bitches, right?
Yep.
Because they low hanging fruit.
Mm.
They low
Mm-mm.
they low hanging fruit. So yes, I I need a couple of dollars. Let me call this bitch. Oh, you know what? And yeah, it's cool. I'll go by and fuck you. These niggas is running by fucking three, four different chicks so he can pay his cell phone bill. You know
Mm.
what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
women don't women don't recognize what these men are actually doing. But like I
Mm.
say, I'm going back on mute. Tell her, Ty, bro. Tell her about how the brothers act.
No, that's facts. And sometimes you know Like I used to be like that when I was younger because I was trying to find my way.
Mm-hmm.
I was street adjacent, you know what I'm saying, trying to figure it out. All the older brothers, people that was around me, Pookies and Ray Rays, and that's how they was eating. And when a woman, when you kind of a little bit above where she can normally get to cuff her, she gonna any attention you give her, she gonna go 1,000 miles for that. And men know that, and they know, you got a little gift of gab to you. You can talk good to make her feel special.
Right.
That's a fact. You're gonna stay fresh, and you're gonna attract a lot of different women. You're gonna know, like, oh yeah, I could be in her car tonight. I could take her. I could talk to her, and I could be in her car, kicking it with the bros, and then I could crash at her crib. She cook. She gonna make some breakfast. Like, yeah,
I'm gonna
But
I'm gonna have a conversation with this young lady. I'm gonna have a conversation with her because I think this might be what's happening with her right now. It might be happening with her, and she may see it, she may not. We've known these people for a while, so we've seen the maturity and we've seen the trajectory of this relationship. We there was no need to warn. There was no need to say anything. He never was. He never hid. You know what I'm saying? He never hid anything.
Right. These guys aren't liars, HQ. The women, it doesn't make any sense to talk to her because the
No, no,
next guy
it's
she
not a
finds
matter. It's not a matter of
is going to
talking
be
to
the
her.
same. Is
He's
going to be the
married.
same way.
He's married.
It
He's
doesn't matter.
married. Yeah,
It doesn't matter. The next guy that she looks at is going to be the exact same.
she
They're
trying
going
to
to be
get the
the.
best she can get.
she was
She's trying to
talking. She
get
was talking
the
to.
best she can get.
They were together. They were together. Uh, and he did some things, and then she tried to move on with another guy. Another guy was like paying her good attention because she don't good attention, paying attention to her. And then he came back and said, "Oh, he said, HQ, I don't know, that just hurt my heart when I saw her with somebody else." And I said, "Leave her the fuck alone, bro. You know what time it is. Stop
It's
doing
it's
that."
it's it, it's the resources. She don't drive a Jag or nothing like that. Does she
No,
have a job? Does she have gainful employment? Is
yeah,
she gainfully employed?
yeah,
It's the resources. That nigga don't care nothing about nothing but the resources.
yeah. That can only be the only thing. It can that could be the only thing. And and this is just the latest flare up. This is the latest flare up. Happened like I want to say about 10 days ago. This happened, and I was like, no, this has got to be the end right here. This is the end. You want to go over there and deal with the baby mama and told you to get the fuck out. I'll see that. I'll know. I'll know by the end of the week whether it took whether she begged him to come back.
HQ, that sounds a lot like my I got a cousin, he older than me. He probably about 40 now. He
Mm-hmm.
been with his chick for about 15 years. She had a kid before him, but the kid was like 3 years old. And she was a little chubby, low hanging fruit. She's older than him,
Mm-hmm.
but he's super nug nug, supreme nug nug supreme, like high ranking. And he just like Black America said, always stay fresh,
Right.
always in the chick card.
Right.
And he they wound up meeting, and they've been together all of these years, and they never had a kid. And he
Mm.
got about 4 kids under the age of 10.
Mm.
Uh, he all his kids
By
he done
different.
had by different women. He done had all of these kids since they've been together.
Mm-hmm.
She kick him out all the time, take him right back after a day or two. He
Mm-hmm.
come in the crib 3 a.m. drunk, and she be tripping. He come in the crib 10 in the morning,
Wow.
12 noon, 2 o'clock the next day, drunk, and she take him back. She kick him out, take him back. He always in her car. She fun his lifestyle, but she know that she can't get nobody that will
Mm.
satisfy her like her eye, eyesight and everything she want the way that he do it. She didn't try to creep off on him and mess with somebody else, but it don't hit the same. He been there so long, he didn't popped up with a ring and proposed when he was really in trouble to get her back, but it's
Wow.
just like she ain't gonna let him go because she don't see herself getting a better like he
You-
he cut the grass, he take care of shit, he paint, and he real good with his hands. So he
Oh,
handle
okay.
all of that
There's
shit.
some utility
He
there.
he
There's some utility there. He ain't a.
yeah, but he ain't shit, and that's my baby. But he ain't shit, and he know he ain't shit. We all know he ain't shit. But she
Fine.
not gonna never let him go because what I'm saying. And sometimes he be scared, like damn, I think she meant it this time. He
Mm.
might be in the streets for like a week, and she missed the nigga. She'll pull up in the hood, pick him up. You know what I'm saying? He get his couple
That's
duffel
a low.
bags.
That's a person that has very very low
But
self
she
esteem.
and she not that bad looking, and she make great money, and it's crazy.
Yeah, but you
But
can be beautiful. You can be beautiful and have low self esteem. Look at all the women that called in to Kevin Samuels and call into to Shira Seven and call into all of these people and asking for advice about their life. If you're a person that doesn't need that kind of validation, you would never call into a place. You would never call in. Not saying that you know everything, but you don't need that validation from people. If you these all those beautiful women that called in to Kevin Samuels, validation. I need validate. I need you to tell me. I need you to this, that, and the third. I never knew about them because I don't. I never been online to even do that kind of stuff, right? So I'm saying, how do we get these beautiful women? How did he get these beautiful women to call him?
They're
Because
they're 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 not that beautiful, and they're all the same.
them women over there, some of them women were beautiful. What you mean? That
but
last,
They
they all the same, like you said.
they're all the same. They
yeah,
all
but they
come
they
with the
all the
same.
same. Got lofty
They
dreams,
all
but
they all come with the same options. They all come with the same options. They are all they are all flying spur Bentleys. All
wait a
of
minute.
them, Rolls
I got a
Royces.
question to ask y'all. I got a
They're
question.
all the same.
Why is it that y'all so offended about the provider moniker? Why are men offended because of that? White men, I'm told, understands that they got to be the provider. Why is it that we get so much pushback from the black men when they know this? When they get that when a woman,
You
it's the only
you hear black men
black
you
women
you hear you hear
pushback.
black men complaining about being a provider.
When I first got
For
on here, that was the worst thing
I,
that you could
I,
say.
I've never heard that. I've never heard any black man
No, what they said,
complain about being
what
bothered.
a
not they didn't
provider
put
for
it that
your wife,
no, they didn't put it that way. They put it 666, or they put it six figures, or they put it that way. They didn't
that's
put it. I
that's
know how to,
different than being a provider. I don't think no man has a problem providing for his wife,
but I'm pretty
but
sure that's what
but
they meant.
saying but saying a man making six figures is not saying I want a man that's gonna provide for his family because I could provide with 50,000 or 60,000. We
No,
might not be able to live this life that you have in your mind that you're dreaming of. I might not be the genie in a bottle for your life, but I can provide for my family still.
no. You all say 60, 50,000 can be provider. I'm saying, and I'm positive that the women who were asking for the 666 or the six figure, that's what they meant. That's what they were meaning to say. They didn't refine their points. You notice how when first Kendra G came on, they were saying 666. Then they started refining those points to provider. Then they started saying, oh, 50,000 is okay. Oh, this is okay, blah, blah, blah. You still got some outliers. You still got some strays. But
The
the bulk of them started changing that tune up.
right, the first person that's responsible for communication is the person communicating. So if that's not what they meant, then that should have been what they said. If that wasn't what they meant, they should have said what they meant or meant what they said. It's like when you run into something, if you're not going to watch where you're going, at least go where you watch. And that's what these women weren't doing. When they
I,
say this 666 shit, now you've moved into the realm of luxury,
mm-hmm.
where you're asking me to provide your wants and needs when it's your needs that I don't have a problem providing for.
Mm-hmm.
Your wants are too arbitrary anyway. They're going to change tomorrow and get more expensive. Remember that hedonic treadmill I was talk about?
But most of us have not, most women have not seen a six-figure man. Most
So how can
women,
they say they want it? Exactly. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
because it's a fantasy in their head.
Right.
What they really meant was a provider. They meant
So that,
provider, but they
right.
didn't know how to say that.
So to answer your question, why do black men get offended is because you're telling me I'm not worth you because I am incapable of meeting the fantasy that's in your head when you mean to communicate something else. You're making me to satisfy your needs and wants.
Yes.
And to interpret and the villain for misinterpreting your miscommunication. Are you crazy? That's why we get offended.
That's why I'm saying. That's when they started to tailor their message. Remember, now you hear them say 50, 60. Oh, he don't, and money don't matter. It don't.
Right,
They,
now 50, yeah. But to answer the question, that's why I'm talking out.
Okay, you just froze. You just froze.
No, I was saying, yeah, right. The tune to the song changed. Now they, well, we're 50-50 and all that, which is another conversation that's full of shit. But anyway, why were black men offended is for that very reason. Because you're talking out of both sides of your neck and expecting me to clean up the fallout.
Right. Because I never did understand the 666. I heard that when I got on here. And I was like, do you all understand do you all understand what that means? If the average man only makes like 60, 70, do you understand what that 100?
Yeah, abracadabra and hocus pocus.
Right. And so you alienated almost the whole man landscape, okay?
That's why we were offended.
Okay.
HQ, that was one of Kevin Samuel's biggest points when he would be talking to women. And you know, a lot of these women today, especially with all this social media, they want you to give provisions in the dating phase. That's a problem. That's problematic. You want provisions. You want me to take care of bills and things of this nature when you are not my wife and we're just dating and you know what I'm saying? Like that's a major thing going on right now, especially with all of these Series 7s and all of that. Like,
and you know why? You know why that's a bad thing? Because I don't know whether you're an adult enough to take care of yourself
but
before you
they
come into my life. So if I'm providing for you right in the dating phase, I don't know what you're going to do with my money. I don't know how you conduct yourself when you're around a lot of money. I don't know how you conduct yourself when you ain't got no money. So I need to know what you are doing, what you're handling, what your finances are like on your own before I try to commingle your finances with me, because you might have a whole bunch of money and you recklessly spend it on red bottom shoes every week, and you're not, and I'm not even with that. So you got to see how a person conducts themselves when it comes to money, because money is one of the biggest reasons why people walk out the door. It's because you
Well,
don't have
HQ,
or
that's why men that's why men say women are selfish. Because we know you
that
guys.
talking point don't get us nowhere closer to where we need to be, because I believe all of us are selfish when we're not in relationships. We only think of ourselves when we're not in relationships. It's only when we have to tend to another person's needs.
Women are selfish in
Women, no,
relationships.
women,
HQ, I'm not talking about not in a relationship.
I have never met a woman that was completely and utterly selfish in a relationship unless she didn't have kids. If she didn't have
HQ,
kids,
type,
if
type,
she didn't have kids,
H,
then that
H,
selfishness was
HQ,
right.
HQ, Ty Pro baby mama got him a blanket. Ty Pro baby mama got him a blanket. My homeboy,
Selfish come from? Where does that come from? Just because they
what do
don't
you mean? You
what do you
guys,
mean
you guys don't spend your. We take a huge burden of money off of your shoulders. Ty Pro got a good job. He worked between 62 and 70 hours a week. He's a truck driver, just like me.
right.
He is out there busting his ass. He wants to feel appreciated. The motherfuckers, they didn't have to put gas in their car all the time. If they needed a tire, Ty Pro was doing that shit. A brake job, he was doing that shit. It's because of the type of men that we are. We do these things. We take a huge burden off of you, and you guys don't pay it forward. You don't pay it back to us. If there's no ROI.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if I believe you. Wait a minute. Why are you in a relationship with a selfish person?
It's even more than selfish. It's entitlement. They feel like
Wait a minute. Hold on.
I'm
Every you,
here,
I'm,
so
a,
I'm entitled to your money.
I'm positing that you ain't been involved with that many romantic relationships. I'm
Who, me?
Yeah. So it can't be the bulk of women. So you can't be speaking for all women when you say that. So it can't possibly be true.
Why you think I ain't been in that many relationships?
You know how I know it's not true? Because I'm not like that. So I know it's not all women.
You well, I can speak. I, I think that
You are a
generationally,
needle in a haystack,
yeah,
woman.
yeah. You was married. You got a whole different type of
Yeah, but
story about you.
there's some women that are the same. I'm
There
just saying,
are.
not all of them are like me. Not all of them are like me.
I'm going to say no.
I'm saying you just ain't
I'm
found the
sorry.
right one
I'm going to say for
on the
the
right,
large majority, no, no, no,
and I
no,
still am
no,
not
no. I talk to men every day.
quite sure what that selfish thing entails. You said because she don't spend her money on you, but women throw their money into the household all the time. So I'm not really understanding what you mean by that. Uh, she just gets her whole check and be like, I ain't giving these motherfuckers nothing. I ain't buying no food. I ain't paying a bill. I ain't buying none of the kids' clothes. I ain't buying nobody's shit. Is that I would posit to say that is not true. So
For
she,
speaking on my personal experience, my baby mama didn't even feel like she needed to work until I kicked her out and just was over it and was done with it.
mhm,
Then she went and got her shit together, and I felt like I felt validated in what I was doing, that I was fucking up and doing shit the wrong way
mhm,
because I thought it was the good. I thought taking care of business was the right way, but I was really enabling her to be just lazy and use me to
A
an extent.
bum,
mm,
a bum. You was enabling her to be a bum.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Thank you.
bro.
Yes. And
Yo.
I did everything. I took care of my son, and
Hmm.
I pretty much made him a care package of a whole bunch of shit. He was still being potty trained. He had all of this stuff at at my house, and
Hmm.
I got him, what I'm saying, his own furniture, potty, clothes, and all of this to go sent it to her mama house and kicked them both the fuck out. And she's been a better woman since. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Sometimes the
Sometimes
entitlement,
it
like,
only takes one relationship or two relationships in order for you to straighten up and fly right. Sometimes it happens like that, but that don't mean she was a bad woman. That just means she needed to
No,
kick.
nobody said bad. Nobody said bad.
nah,
We said
we
selfish.
talking about selfish. Yeah.
We're
Thank you.
talking
Yeah,
about
Yeah,
but
we talking
selfish. We
about
didn't say
selfish.
bad.
she was selfish at that point, but she straightened up, right?
She's still selfish.
She's still selfish. She just had to get her shit together because she couldn't do shit for herself.
Okay.
You
Let
know
me
what
read.
I'm
Let
saying?
me read your last letter. Let me read the last letter. This is our last letter. Our last letter. Don't really know the point of this post, but I need the space to tell it. About 3 weeks ago, my husband and I had a long talk, and he said he wasn't happy. He didn't give a specific reason, just that he was not happy. I asked him to put more effort into the relationship and see how we both feel after a holiday he was taking with his friends. Well, during the holiday, he called me every day, sent messages, constantly told me he loved me. At the end of the conversation, it was good. It was just like having him back. Today, after a few things happened that I wasn't happy about, I asked him how he was feeling. He said he wasn't happy. He hasn't been happy for months and he wanted to separate. I asked him to do the couples thing. He said no. I asked him, was he 100% sure that he wanted it to be over? He said yes. The conversation was a couple of hours long, but that's the gist of it. He says he loves me, but he's not happy when he comes home. I said, you realize that you're not happy with dinner on the table every night, a clean house, and a family, and sex? You not happy? I do 100% of the housework and I pay half the bills. We've been together for 17 years. This hurts. How can he decide that he doesn't want to be here anymore? We have two children.
She's lying. She's lying.
She's
Mhm.
out of her mind. This bitch is crazy.
I asked him when he started feeling like this. He said it was before September. I had no clue at all, but you know what was happening at the time? My mother was dying of cancer. So I didn't pay much attention to our relationship. Fast forward, he was having an affair.
Mm-hmm. Is that the end of the letter?
Mm. She wrote another portion, but it's a way long portion. But
Can you read the top? Take it from the top. It says, I wasn't happy. And then she asked what? I
okay.
just want to make sure before I set
Okay.
fire.
She said, "Oh shit. Oh, wait a minute. Did I click the wrong one? Hold on. He told me he wanted a divorce. He told me he no longer loves me. No, is that the right one? No, no, that's not the right one. Oh shit! I hope I didn't. I hope. Oh, okay. No, this is it. Don't really know the point of this post, but I'm gonna post this letter anyway. She said about 3 weeks ago, my husband and I had a long talk where he said he wasn't happy in our relationship. He didn't give me a specific reason, just that he was not happy. I asked him to put more effort into the relationship and see how we both would feel after a holiday he was taking with his friends.
Say that last sentence. I asked him to do what?
I asked him to put more effort in and see how we both feel after the holiday with his friends.
Did you catch
She's a
that?
bitch, Aaron. She's a
Did you catch
bitch,
it?
Aaron.
Did you catch
She
it?
controlling as fuck.
Yeah.
This bitch needs to go take a long, windy walk off a very short, rickety pier.
What the hell she say? Whoa.
You catch it?
I got it, but I'm saying I want to hear what y'all got to say.
No, no, no. We know it. We want to see if you caught it. What was said?
No. She said she is more of her directing the relationship and he's more Maybe he's a cow. Maybe he's a simp.
Now simplify it. What was said? This is an egregious crime, and you can put in one sentence.
About 3 weeks ago, my husband and I had a long talk where he said he wasn't happy in our relationship. He
Right,
didn't give me a specific reason, just that he was not happy.
right.
I
And what she do with that information?
She said, I told him to put more effort into
What
it.
the fuck is wrong with her? You're not happy? You need to put more effort into the relationship.
Right. Right. She said that.
This is so bad. This is so bad. This is the kind of abuse that
Right.
men just put up with, and we
Mm.
and we just swallow it because we are dutiful, and we just swallow it, and then we get a finger pointed in our forehead.
Mhm.
She's insufferable bitch, and she was probably yelling, "Put more effort into it. Put your back into it, Harvey.
But she
Work
didn't offer.
harder."
She didn't offer to put any kind of effort into it. She didn't put any effort into it. She didn't say anything about what she would do. She didn't say we. She didn't say us. She didn't say none of that. She just said, asked him to put more effort into it.
That's
So,
the that's the title of this song, and then the rest after that is.
and she said it was not. Well, see, that's the thing. They've been together 17 years. He been putting up with whatever he's been putting up with for 17 years. And he's been having an affair. According to her, the last line, he's had an affair.
Yeah. HQ, I told you before when we had talked about it. Men get tired. We get fed up, and then we just don't know what to do. Yeah, she's been having sex. She's probably been giving him some trim every 2 or 3 months, maybe. If he's lucky, he's been getting it every 3 or 4 months. If he's lucky. I've
Mm,
talked to plenty of guys all the time and plenty of women, and they think, well, yeah, he gets it anytime he wants it. Well, how often do you think that is? Oh, like once a month, once every couple of months?
yeah,
You're wrong, lady. You're
yeah, that's
wrong.
right,
But wait,
right,
So what you guys actually see or think is not what is actually going on.
but let's just say it is. Let's play devil's advocate. Let's say it is. This is how bad it is.
right.
We can give them all what they're claiming. Let's say the list that she ran down is 100% true. Let's
Mhm.
just assume it is because she said it.
Right.
Evidently, there's still something else missing that you're not doing, lady, and you're
Mhm.
not doing much of anything to
Right.
find out what that is. Isn't that what a man is supposed to do when his woman comes to him and says that's some dumb shit like that? But I pay all the bills. I
Right.
make sure my ass is home every night, and you're
Mhm.
still not happy? Well, you're not listening. You're not empathetic. You're not actively seeking out what it is that's not making me happy. You're not doing your part, blah, 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 blah. And you
Right.
got to go down this rabbit hole in this diamond a response or diamond solution that
Mhm.
doesn't exist because it's so pressurized and under so much heat it turns cold and fucking it will do the same for him.
Right.
That's if and now I don't believe, right? I wouldn't bet your paycheck on the fact that this woman is doing all this. But even if she was, you're still failing to meet the fucking mark. And
Right.
you've done nothing to research what it is you can be doing to meet the mark, which means you don't give a fuck. You're forcing him to accept what it is you're willing to give, no matter how grandiose a package,
Right.
him to like what it is you want him to like, rather than finding out what he likes and serving that shit. And that's fucked up.
So so this all comes down to you keeping up the activities and the things that you were doing before you got married. You need to be actively listening. You need to be actually present in that relationship. My thing is, what can a woman do in order to actively be in that relationship? Because apparently she been absent. If he having an affair, you've been absent and you just figuring out you don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong. He's distant. He ain't talking to me. You ain't been there in your marriage.
It's three
What's
things.
going on?
It's three things a woman can do to be present in a relationship for a man. And there are three of the things that women have the hardest time doing. Okay? Ask genuine questions.
Okay.
Not two questions, not Socratic questions, not questions with an agenda or an aim.
Mm-hmm.
Ask genuine, open questions with the sole intent of fielding a response that you can work with. That's the first thing. The
Mm-hmm.
second thing, don't judge. Whatever the answer is, don't apply your modus operandi or your line of thinking to it.
Okay.
It's not you. First of all, the fact that you didn't even know the answer and you had to go find it tells me you don't know anything. Now that you have the answer, don't go applying your shit onto it. Don't put your sauce on this burger. You don't know how to cook, right? You were given the burger. Wait for the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
The third thing, implementation. Whether it's taking accountability for something and making a promise to remove it, or taking accountability for or accepting responsibility for not doing something and making a promise to add it,
Okay.
right? But that's what you do when you get the answer to the questions that you ask and consider those answers with little to no judgment.
Let's role play.
Okay,
Her and you him.
let's do it.
Now, I feel like you got an attitude. I don't know what to do. What's the problem? What's going on with you? What are you doing? You say you want to leave me. Why do you want to leave me? What have I done? What have I done?
You think I want to leave you? I don't want to leave you. I feel pushed out the door.
Mhm. Pushed out. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. I'm outraged. I'm playing a role. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. I mean, we have sex like we supposed to do. I cook, I clean, I pay half the bills. What else do you want me to do?
Do you see what you just did? Not that. You made it all about you. There's no room in this house for me.
Mm,
You asked me what my problem is, and I gave you an initial answer.
mm,
Before you do any research, the first thing you do is fly off the handle and list your accolades and reasons why I should be satisfied. Do you
mhm,
really want the reason or not?
mhm.
There's no room in here for me. It's all about you. You asked
Right.
what's in the air of you. There's no room in this house for me. It means I'm being pushed out the door.
Okay. Mm, mm. So this is me trying. Now we're gonna switch it over to me trying or me saying we
I
instead of
got
me.
bad cop to good cop. Let's,
Okay. Bad cop, good cop. This is me. Okay. And I'm just feeling it because I don't know how to do it.
yeah, yeah.
What can I what can I do? What can I do to change things? What can I do to help?
Well, I'm glad you asked, and that's the start of it. To simply consider that and be ready for that. Create a safe space for me to communicate with you
Mm-hmm.
without self communication. Let me ask you a question. Do you
Mm-hmm.
feel as though you can come to me with your or you feel as though you can voice your concerns with me?
Of course I can.
Right. I don't feel the same way about you.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe there's because it starts with asking. You've obviously seen a change in my behavior. And I'm hoping the question you asked is not disingenuous. If it isn't, just more of that. Just consideration. Acknowledging that there's two of us in this house.
Mm-hmm.
And just the way I acknowledge you in the ways that you want to be acknowledged, in ways that can line me up to be successful to not only acknowledge but make the changes you need me to make. I need
Mm-hmm.
you to do the same things for me. Communicate with me openly.
Right.
Excavate out of me what it is you need to be better for me, and don't attach any conditions to those things.
Mm. Go ahead on, Aaron. Go ahead on. Because I'm sitting there and I'm listening, not to answer back. I'm
Right,
listening to comprehend
right.
because I noticed that I have to stop myself as a personal thing, that I have to stop myself
I saw you do it even here. I saw you do it.
Right.
I
Yeah,
saw you do
yeah.
Right.
She was fighting it. She was
Right.
fighting it just
I
now,
know. I
sitting there
know.
being
it.
quiet.
What
No. So
was the
that.
response? I gave you accolade.
Hmm.
I said you're already on the you're charting the path to the on the right course.
Hmm.
You're already doing the right things. I hope it's not disingenuous, but if it isn't, you're already succeeded. You see how I made you feel better about yourself? Already, I can see the fight in you,
Right.
and I'm already showing appreciation.
Right. And see, this is a way or a constructive way to fight, but not really fight.
Right,
Right. And a lot of people are like, nah, well, you ain't talking to me. What the fuck? You know, it was more of that. And I caught
right.
myself. Now I wasn't going to behave like that. I was going to ask you a
Yeah,
question in the middle of you talking. And then I thought, no, that's not how it's supposed to go. How it's supposed to go is I'm supposed to sit, absorb, reflect, take accountability, and then respond. Right. And so this is where her letter falls apart. It's all about her and how it affects her, and she hasn't thought. Have I been doing? I'm giving you sex. I'm giving you got all that. I'm doing all that. But yet, I'm one thing I'm not doing. The one thing I'm not doing is making a safe space for the partner. It's the space for me. It ain't a space for you. And I can't tell you about it because maybe he doesn't know how to say it to you. I mean, say it to her,
maybe
but
he doesn't.
No, no.
and
It's
maybe
it's when he does say something, he'll be villainized. Like so, Aaron uh, gave you the eloquent side of it.
yeah,
But the thing is, if you if Aaron would have told you a different truth, right, and said, "Well, you're not doing this, and this, and you are doing these things like flying off the handle,
mm-hmm,
putting your finger in my forehead," if he would have told you those things, the
mm-hmm,
reaction you'd be livid, you'd be mad, you'd be hurt, you'd be upset, you'd be crying, and
mm-hmm,
it'll all go back. It'll go to shit. The
right,
whole thing will blow up and it will go to shit. So men, Aaron was uh, honest in a different way. Men can't be honest in the way that men are honest. You see
mm-hmm,
what I mean?
Yeah,
mm-hmm,
Men can't be honest with a woman and say, "Listen, yeah, I
mm-hmm,
know you said you gave me sex, but it's once a month, and you're not fucking. It's a little bit of missionary. I busted that like do something different. Put on a nightgown. Put on a
starfish on
nightgown.
toast.
put on some,
You know what
put
I
on
mean?
some, put on some lingerie. I got like
Put on
40
some
pieces of
lingerie.
lingerie. I'm good.
It's also something called oral sex.
Yeah, yeah.
Black American love himself with hell, buddy.
I mean, yeah. What he said, starfish eggs is one. No, we don't. That ain't what. No, you don't want no starfish sex.
And
Starfish
and
on
and
toast,
the
boy. Rough.
and and the and, and it'll be all to the bad if men are honest with women like
Right,
men
right,
talk.
right. So y'all, it's 8:30. Give me your final thoughts. This is a good thing. We doing a good thing. I like this. I like these marriage scenarios because people people don't really know how to respond correctly sometimes. And you saw me fighting it. Y'all see it in real time. When I run up against I run up against Black America, sometimes I have to stop. Sometimes I have to think. I run up against Aaron, sometimes I have to stop and I gotta think. But the best part about it is you gotta learn how to listen to listen and not to respond. And everybody is that is the first thing people do is to respond instead of listen. And she wasn't listening. The wife never was listening. She couldn't have been, because then he would have told her, maybe, or maybe he would have gave her some kind of indication. But I'm assuming she found out at some particular point that he was having an affair. I'm not saying all affairs is people's a person who has an affair, it's not just that person's fault. I could never blame just one person for an affair. There's always reasons why a person has an affair, but there's some people who just do. But most people who are in a relationship who have committed to another person and they step out, there are reasons why they step out. And they will tell you if they're caught. They will tell you if you really pin them down. And I'm sure this man had a reason because we could tell from the letter that she was somewhat of a itch, right? We could tell. And I started talking and y'all didn't get your final thoughts. I'm sorry. Keep going.
All good. I'll be brief. This is always a pleasure, a lot of fun, and thank you for these different scenarios because even though I may sound like I have wisdom when I come up here, it still forces me to look at my marriage and my performance and what I'm doing. When I say these things, I'm like, yeah, that sounded good, but are you really applying that in your own life, son? Right? And if the answer is yes, then good, excellent, good advice. If the
Right.
answer is no, you might want to give that shit a shot. So look, trust me, nobody out here is perfect, not even me. But these conversations definitely help me be a better communicator and help, coach and lead my wife to be a better communicator for me. So
Thank
that's
you.
what it's always about: communicate, and love one another evenly and balanced. So thank you for that.
Yes, we're gonna look at fences. We gonna look at fences, or if you've already seen Fences and you know what it's about, I've never seen the movie Fences.
Good movie.
That's a difficult. There's many levels. I'm assuming there's many levels to that marriage because he has children now. I ain't never seen it. I've only seen the clip of her talking about I'm just gonna be your wife. So we gonna do that on Sunday. We just gonna do that real quick. We're gonna do that. Black America. Oh, and we need more likes. Come on, guys. I just need the likes to get up, get up, get up. Everybody hit the like button, please, and thank you. Please.
All right. So my final word is your side, my side, and the truth. I wish that people couldn't do letters like this without having the letter from the opposing party.
Right, right,
Because just because you're saying it, you're not getting to see it from a full aerial view, and it
right,
just makes everything bad. So
right.
you can't believe all women. Don't believe everything you hear. It's like you can't believe all men, and that's it.
Shit. Boys, these are weird. These are weird scenarios. This is weird times, Black America. This is weird times that we are in. Just weird times. Is that
Well,
your
I mean, it's things that's been going on forever. The only thing now is you're in Georgia and I'm in Nevada, and we can actually talk to each other on a daily basis, like and see. You know what I mean? So
right?
it's just so much more information being shared
Right,
instead of what goes on in this house stays in this house. You
right,
know?
right. And now we can see different millions of scenarios because everybody can hit the line. Everybody can hit the line and be online and then hear X, Y, and Z. So I'm grateful for everybody to show up. I'm grateful that everybody says, okay, we can tune in and try to figure out how do we make marriages work? What scenarios do you do? What scenarios happen? I always like this kind of show because people don't know how to respond all the time. And we wanted to respond. That was a good thing me, you, and Aaron did, and hopefully we can do another one. We can do more in the future because I enjoy your perspective. I enjoy Aaron's perspective and Ty Pro's perspective because it gives me things to think about. Like I wrote down what Aaron said. Those three things. I just got to work that into my thought process. It is what it is. It is what it
Oh,
is.
one more thing. One more
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah.
And this is gonna sound bad, ladies. If you have a job, stop being cheap with your man. Okay, we as the men delegation are tired of that shit. Like I don't care about what you buy for the house. Buy me something. Uh, go get me some Gucci guilty cologne. Go get me argyle tie. Go get me whatever your guy likes,
Yeah.
right? And spend some money on the shit. We are
Right.
tired of t-shirts. We are
Sock.
tired of underwear, and we
Sock.
are tired of socks. We're tired of it. Sick of that shit.
Y'all hear
Y'all
about it?
motherfuckers
Y'all hear that?
spend your spend y'all money on us like we do for you. Y'all thank for Christmas, Valentine's Day. Y'all get a lot of shit. It costs a whole lot of money. Spend y'all money on us, and that's it. Bye bye,
Thank
y'all.
thank you, Black America. Thank you. Y'all hit the like button in and out, please, and thank you. I appreciate it. We are gonna do a review of what the hell was the name of that movie? Fences. We're gonna do the review of Fences on Sunday. See what it means. I know it's gonna be a lot of hurt in there and all that, but I'm gonna try to watch. I'm gonna try to watch it because I hate those kind. I like different types of music, but we're gonna do a review of Fences, and we're gonna see what's going on in there. We're gonna see what's going on. Y'all hit the like button in and out. I thank you for showing up. Please and thank you. And I like these scenarios that we're gonna continue to do. Letters to my marriage. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all.